Hi, everybody, and welcome to SciFi Vision Presents Fandom Access for July 14th. Welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have the Vampire Lestat, followed by House of the Dragon, followed by Star City. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe to SciFi Vision. It is always appreciated. But thank you if you were here listening to us blather on. Yeah, and also thank you if you last night came and played games with me to help me feel a little bit better after what had happened. I appreciate it. It's been fun. All right. Well, hi, Neil. Whoops. Sorry, I'm trying to click the thing. I clicked the wrong thing. Well, there's a lot to say about this episode. But what did you guys think? Because this episode is crazy. It's really crazy. There's a lot of shit going on it. But what did you guys think now that you've seen it?
Karen?
I actually thought it was pretty boring, probably because Scarlett and Jamie were like, that episode is so crazy, you guys. And so then I watched it, and for like 35 minutes, it's just Lestat and Louis like talking about and like getting back together, which I'm like, this fucking isn't in the book. Like, what is going on with these two just talking and like nothing happens until the last 25 minutes. And so I thought it was quite boring, but I think my expectation was set up for something like 60 minutes of bonkers, and it actually all happens in the back end of the show.
Yeah, I agree. After Jamie and Scarlett were like, oh my God, the episode was so crazy, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to see this one. And it's probably the most straightforward episode of the entire series so far. Like, it was just, it just like moved along at a steady pace. And some of the stuff was really good. The Claudia stuff was really good, although I think I see what they are doing now with the show. I think they've decided, listen, our stars are our stars, and as the books go on, they're not always as prominent, and there's other stories to tell in the Vampire Chronicles. So I think they are abandoning directly adapting stories, because the stuff with Claudia, while a great scene, wonderful scene, and it does happen in the books, just not this book.
No, not for many books. It's in the 7th book. Right.
Is that Is Merrick the 7th book? But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Karen. That I think they are kind of mishmashing some things and doing some stuff out of order, because I feel like by the time they get to Merrick, they're not going to do the full story.
Well, I was shocked. I was shocked to see Merrick, right? Because that doesn't come until Merrick is the 7th book. A lot of stuff has to happen. And while that scene with Claudia's ghost is straight from the books, there's like a bunch of other stuff. Like, they don't meet her until like David Talbot introduces them to her, right? Like, it's and like Lestat's not there when it, like, so much is different. And when I watched it, I was like, okay, I thought about it. I was like, I get it that Merrick is maybe not a book that you can straight adapt into a season. And also the Mayfair Witches suck so much that maybe they're not going to do that. And then the next day I saw like the new trailers out for season 3 of Mayfair is coming out next season in 2027.
Oh, you didn't know that? You didn't know they were doing a season 3?
No, because that show sucks so much. I probably.
Oh yeah, I thought I know you probably forgot, but I had mentioned that when I read that there was going to be a season 3, and how it was straying even further from the book than the second season did.
Yeah. But they've skipped over like I don't know, like they made the effort to have a show about the Talamasca and it failed. But like, like in the book, Merrick is a former Talamasca agent, right? And other things happen that seem to, like, I wonder if this is one and done with Merrick and this is all we get of her story and we're not going to get more from that book. They pretty much gave us the meat of it, right? The important part of it. So I was surprised to see that happen this early and to not really get to have Akasha be kind of dropped. And to have it not really be like, so what happens at the end of this episode is not how it happens in the book either. And we can talk about that when we get to that part.
Yeah.
Right?
that was
So yes, it was crazy town at the end, Jamie. I agree with you. Like it got crazy, but I just think I had an expectation that I was going to see. You know how the season premiere was like every minute of it, I was like, "What is happening on my TV?" Like,
yeah, no, it wasn't that.
Yeah, and
you know what it is. You know what it is, Karen. I guess and I think that tells the difference right there between us book readers who kind of have stupid dog have an idea of the story. And you know, and everything up to this has been crazy. I can see how for a non-book reader that was still a crazy episode.
Yeah,
I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
No, I was just gonna say, I mean, obviously the Claudia stuff was a lot of crazy, and the last scene was a lot of crazy. I get that it wasn't as like moving as much at the end, but to me, I was even surprised that like the whole getting back together the way that they did and them discussing his mother and all that. But yeah, I haven't read the book. So to me, that was still really interesting. And I just wasn't expecting any of it. And then there's the Daniel stuff too going on. So I don't know. I felt like a lot happened. But
I love Dan.
I am seeing a different point of view. Yeah, the tan stuff's a little weird. But I mean, and like the video and all that, like there was a lot of stuff. I felt like anyway.
Like in the book, this Merrick stuff happens. Like Louis's really been grieving Claudia for like 150 years when he meets up with Merrick, not for just like these 70 years, right? And like all the events of Memnock. Memnock another book comes before Merrick, right? And a lot of stuff happens to put that in motion, and it was surprising to me, but I get it. I think maybe we're one and done with Merrick and we won't see her again. I hope we won't, because I didn't particularly like the way they conceived her for this show. I thought she was a little she was not like the book character in a lot of ways, and I felt she was like a little tropey New Orleans voodoo witch, and they kind of left out a lot of her richness of her backstory.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm almost. I wouldn't be surprised if they skipped the Merrick story completely.
It's not the best book.
Or not the I was gonna say you brought up Memnock.
Memnock?
I would if they skip Memnock.
Yeah.
Just because Memnock's a good book, but for the TV show, it definitely changes.
Yeah.
What people are gonna be used to.
Yeah.
I definitely think we're gonna get more Claudia though, even if Merrick doesn't come back. Like that can't be it. At least it didn't feel like it to me. I mean, she stepped outside the salt or whatever, so I have to assume we're going to see her again at some point.
Well, I think AJ and I will withhold any comment on that.
Yeah, I'm just curious how you think that would happen, Jamie, unless they call Merrick again. Hey, did you do that thing again?
I don't know. Maybe she can haunt them. I don't know. She stepped over.
Or you think she's on the loose?
Yeah, I think that
you think she's on.
I mean,
I think she's on the loose.
Yeah, and I mean, she's obviously still in the other, the underworld, whatever you want to say, in hell. Yes, but I could see her like appearing to them later or something down the line. I mean, otherwise, why have her it end the way it did, and why have her break out of the circle if they weren't going to bring her back? I don't know. That's what I thought, but who knows?
Fair enough. All right.
All right. Well, we start out with Lestat and Louis. He's just checking his text messages and everything while he's in the coffin. But Louis stayed over, but I think at this point it seemed like maybe they hadn't quite reunited as much yet, but he's staying at his place. And there's the guy that I never remember his name. Alex, who ends up screwing them over later on at the end of the episode. But it just kind of starts out with Lestat talking to him, in his mind, because he did turn his different bandmates. I mean, they implied he was going to, but they didn't actually say that he did. So,
which also doesn't happen in the books.
Well, he turned them, but yeah, I didn't know if he actually would or not. I don't know. I was surprised they just kind of opened it the way they did, but. He wants Louis to be appreciative of his expensive coffin. He's kind of like bragging like he always is. yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly what they said in this scene, but they are definitely closer in this episode. And I feel like a lot of it is Lestat trying to, I don't know if win him back's the right word, because I guess he kind of already did, but like prove how he feels. I feel like a lot of the episode was that.
From this point up until they get to the restaurant, it's just a lot of witty banter between the two of them.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
There's him dressed up for Halloween. I love how they had him dressed up. Going around
very fitting as the Grim
dressed as the Grim Reaper. Yeah. I mean, I love they it's set on Halloween, and in the voiceover, Lestat mentions it's been 2 years since the band formed. So while we've only seen 6 episodes, 2 years have gone by.
Yeah. And I assume the majority of that was probably between the last episode and this episode, which I hadn't really thought about till you mentioned the 2 years. But
yeah, I mean they don't really say how much time between this episode and the last episode, but they've written an entire album since then. Yeah. They were only talking about making a whole new album at the end of the episode.
Right. Well, a lot of this is about the idea that Louis is going to perform Lestat is going to perform, and Louis doesn't think he should because he's kind of worried about what's going to happen with Armand and everything, or if somebody else even will show up. But he still comes because he doesn't want to, him to not, he knows that it means a lot to Lestat for him to be there. So that's why he's come to partake. Then they went into the restaurant. Let's see. He's going, I don't remember what the name was, but he's going by a fake name right now since everybody thinks he's dead. But everybody's still,
everybody clearly recognized him.
Yes. And I mean, these are all vampires, but they're, they seem to be okay with it. Clearly there's some vampires that aren't, but right now he's still sort of a celebrity, even among them, it seems like.
I don't Clarence Blackthorne.
Clarence Blackthorne, okay. I couldn't remember. There was a couple names in this episode.
Yeah, Clarence Blackthorne is the one he's going by.
No, it's Blackwood, which is like an Easter egg because Blackwood is another.
I thought it was Blackthorne. Yeah, Blackwood Farm.
Blackwood, right, the Blackwood are witches, right?
Blackwood Farm is one of the better later books. It's probably the best later book.
So Daniel is at the restaurant, sunburnt, tanned. I didn't know what to think of that because I got the opinion from what you guys said last week. And I know you just weren't telling me. It wasn't that you were, saying anything. But I kind of wondered from what you said if the whole I can let you walk in the daylight thing was a bunch of bullshit. And clearly it seems to not be. I mean, the video could have been a deep fake, but it turns out it's not. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what to think when he came in and he was all suntanned.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
I don't know. I mean, this was a pretty good foreshadowing scene, right? Because, isn't this where Daniel says, "Oh, I've been seeing someone," and they talk about being love, and in the fog of love, they don't know. And were you really in love with Armand? All this talk of being in love, and I do feel a little bit like Louis and Lestat in this scene are not seeing it, right? Did you get a sense of something we've been getting a sense for a while that Daniel is really out to get them, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that Lestat is so stuck on himself, he doesn't always notice.
Yeah. Lestat and Louis, they were being their typical bully selves to Daniel, and Daniel was being condescending right back to them. And they were oblivious. They just didn't see it. They were just so high on themselves that they didn't recognize what was right in front of them. And I really thought that it's going to turn out that this woman that Daniel's been seeing was going to be Sophia.
I mean, I thought it was going to turn out to be Armand, that he and Armand have gotten together, which it appears by the end that they have, right?
Yeah.
Armand's been in love with Daniel. I mean, book Daniel and Armand are very different. Right. But they also have in later books, they have a long-term thing going on. Right? I mean, we're jumping in this in the TV
Thanks,
show,
Fletch.
we're jumping back and forth in the book timelines. Right?
Kelly's. Oh, Kelly's. Oh, you got it.
You all like Daniel. I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't like him this season. I don't really like him this season either, since he started to look. I want to say be an asshole, and I guess Lestat deserves it for a lot of it. But yeah, I don't like him as much this season. He's too abrasive, kind of, is I guess the best way I could describe it. And he seems always out to get Lestat.
I don't think I ever liked Daniel. I mean, Daniel's always been really abrasive, and like part of it's like that New York abrasiveness, which doesn't bother me, but part of it is like he's always been like a gotcha, and part of it is the setup of this show by casting Eric Bogosian and by moving it forward from 1977 is the first interview, right, in the book. Like they had to make him an older person, and we lose that whole like Daniel as a young guy in the first, like because they introduced it at the second interview, he's already like mad at these guys, right?
Or he's just like old and bitter, kind of.
Yeah, and he's been like to rehab 5 times, and he's like a bitter old guy, right? Yeah, like I don't think I've ever liked him.
See, I take Daniel a completely different way. I see Daniel being very cynical.
Yes.
But I think a lot of that cynicism comes from the way he's been treated by these guys. I mean, Lestat and Louis have never been kind to him. I mean, we didn't find out till the end of last season what Louis truly had entailed for him, and that Armand saved his life. Not that Daniel remembers that, but he remembers it now because Armand told him everything. So, I mean, I kind of get
Louis was going to kill Daniel.
Yeah. And I kind of get it, why he is the way he is towards them, because I mean, they've never been straightforward with him either. They've always hell, look at the conversation they have in the car about them being his superiors. Like that's not, I don't blame him I've never had a problem with the way Daniel acts, because it makes sense to me given what we've seen, the way they treat him.
I mean, I think if you decide that you're going to interview 2 vampires, like, what do you expect? Like, are vampires going to be nice to you? Are vampires nice? Like, you decided to write a tell-all book about vampires, and then, like, you're surprised that the other vampires are pissed at you? Like, what?
Well,
like, come on.
The other vampires being pissed at you, fine, I get that. But it doesn't change how they treated him. Why
would Lestat be nice to him after he wrote a tell-all book that includes Louis' lies that are not?
Lestat's not nice to anybody. But Louis invited Daniel in. It wasn't like Daniel was like, hey, there's vampires, let me go find one. Louis started this.
Well, no, because Daniel had met Armand, like, the first interview. I mean, it's hard to say. Like, in the book, Louis definitely starts it, right? But you know how, like, in the show, like, the part where he was hanging out in San Francisco and Armand was hanging out in the gay bar and all that, right?
We'll blame Armand then.
Yes, let's blame Armand, the real, Armand is kind of the real, he's been manipulating for like 200 years, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You're right. He's always been kind of the way he is, but I don't know. It seems, like I said, he seems, I think, more abrasive this season, but maybe it's because now they're not like on good terms. Not that they were on good terms per se before, but like they were pretending they were. And like as he was writing the book, like he's pretending to be helpful. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of getting along. Where here it's like post book and they're not. But like I said, yeah, a lot of the things he said and the way he acts, Lestat definitely deserves. I don't know about being beheaded, but a lot of things Daniel says he deserves. But yeah, I don't know. He's a little more unlikable this season.
But he had the best line. He had the best line in the episode when they came in, and he's like, "Travis or Taylor, Travis, how you doing? Yeah. When's the date?"
Yeah,
there have been quite a few newer pop culture references in this show. I think there was actually another Taylor Swift one earlier in the season. But no, that was great. You're right. Daniel and his sarcasm.
I mean, there's a couple good comments in the chat. Jen the teacher points out that Daniel has been an asshole all season, and that Daniel also published the book when Louis didn't want him to. Right? Louis gives him the whole interview, but then, like, in the end, doesn't want the book published. And
he burns his laptop. But
Yeah.
Daniel, being smarter than that, had everything on the cloud.
Right.
But though, like, I can understand Daniel's point of view, though. Like, why give me the story if you're not going to let me publish it? Like,
why waste my time if I'm not going to publish it?
I can kind of see Daniel's point of view in that.
I get that, but you fucked with vampires, and now you're surprised that they're pissed at you. Like what? Like you're gonna like a vampire says, please don't like publish that. He's a vampire. Maybe I'd be like, sorry, I wasted my time, but he's a freaking vampire, so I have to. Like,
I'm a vampire now too.
Well, he wasn't at the time, right? And now he was
not at the time.
He's got two very old, very powerful vampires. They're not like run of the mill like Fang Gang vampires. These two are very old and very powerful. And so Daniel,
you should have let it go.
Daniel's not Daniel's not the 100% like he's not 100% right. And what do they call?
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Daniel's 100% innocent. But I can totally see his point of view because they've done nothing but just fuck with him for years.
I guess he also like. Okay, whatever. Yes. Anyway, I get why he's a little mad, but I also think like we can see from this episode that he's got little Armand whispering in his ear, right? Like Armand is obsessed with Lestat for like the last 200 years or more. Like, I mean, since 17, whatever, that's now like 300 years. He's obsessed with Lestat. And and he's in love with him. And I think that we can see that Armand is, I think, part of like Daniel is a bit of Armand's, I don't want to say his puppet, but he's definitely Armand's like the big manipulator here.
Well, I mean, it's not the same, but Armand and Daniel kind of mirrored Lestat and Louis in a little bit of way because Armand made Daniel and then took off and was like, hey, figure out how to be a vampire, have fun. And then now he's, now Armand is going around making his amends to everybody. So yeah, I think a part of it is Daniel, it's kind of that wanting your parents' approval type thing. I mean, first Daniel was angry and now his anger has turned into wanting to please his daddy.
And it's kind of a rule of vampires that if you make a fledgling, you have to like bring them into the life. You can't just like make a fledgling and leave them out there.
Right.
Yeah. I still, and I know it's because it's only 7-episode season, so you're not going to get it, but I still feel like there's context that I would like to have. Like I would have liked to have understood a bit more why Armand is still apparently in love with Lestat. And I would have liked to have seen at least a little bit of the, part about Daniel and Armand being in a relationship or the fact that he's in love with Daniel, because it just kind of came out of nowhere. And I guess if you read the book, maybe it was like in a different order. And I don't know if they just wanted some of these things to be like more of a surprise for people like me who don't have no clue what's going on. But I still wanted. Sorry, what?
I said you gotta wait till book 5, so that's gonna be like season 9.
I don't know. Go ahead, Jamie. Please.
No, I was just gonna say I just feel like I still feel like I'm missing context, and I feel like they did it to make it be shocking, but I don't feel it was earned in certain aspects because I don't have enough context. Like I feel like I keep wanting to ask you guys, well, how did the relationship start? Like, why is he in love? Like those kind of questions that they just don't.
And that's the thing, though, Jamie. This is very different. So I don't really. With what is on the screen is different than what's in the book.
I was going to say, AJ, I don't know how you feel, but I agree with Jamie 100%. I've read these books and I often feel like the episodes like move too quickly and there's a lot of context to fill in that I have to be like, even I mean, it's been a long time since I've read the books. I didn't read them like last week or whatever, but even with the context that I know, I'm sometimes like having whiplash in these episodes. I feel like 8 or 9 episodes could have been really helpful.
Oh, I agree too, because the show isn't giving us that context. Even as a book reader, and I know their history and how it came about, it's also very different because, they aged everybody and it's years later. And so it's a different story and they haven't given that to us yet in the show.
I don't know if you say yet, you have faith. I don't know that we're going to get it.
Yeah, okay, I agree.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, we could get something next season. They kind of puts it all in perspective, but I feel like it's kind of little too late given where the story's at.
Yeah. I get the feeling we're not ever going to get the context, though. I really do, because there's not enough. Like, the show's too short. I mean, I know there's going to be another Lestat season or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like a lot of it is more for shock value, maybe more so for new viewers, but I don't. Yeah, I feel like I'm always playing catch up with this show.
I mean, maybe we get some kind of like mini flashback or clips here and there next episode.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, if they do, that would help. But I won't be surprised if they don't.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
I still think this was a good episode, and it was as Jamie and AJ, I think you both pointed out, it was the most like straightforward storytelling of the season, and it was great. The whole season is great, but that doesn't mean it's perfect, and we don't have frustrations, right?
Oh no,
right,
no.
Right, for sure. There's the lady giving them blood. I know they answer some of his questions, but a lot of it's sarcasm. So we're not necessarily learning anything there. And then them on the way to practice here. I'm like blanking on some of the more nuanced details.
They're going to band. So the concert is happening like in a few days' time, and it's going to draw like
a lot of vampires.
Right, like 50,000 vampires. Like apparently, only vampires have tickets. Like 50,000 vampires are coming to see this concert, and
that's because the songs haven't hit very well with the humans.
Yeah, that part confused me a little bit. He makes a comment, and I don't remember exactly where he made the comment, but he says something like about the songs only being for vampires. And I didn't know if it was insinuating that like he literally hid things in there only they could hear, or if it's just only they care.
So he said it to the band last episode, which is why he turned them into vampires, because he's like, you can't play it right.
But
because
not all of them. Gabrielle turned Alex.
Right. Well, whoever turned whoever, the band has been turned so that they could understand the music. And
but
that's what he means by it's not that the humans can't enjoy it, but the vampires can feel it. They can. There's no like hidden messages or anything like that.
Okay,
he's just saying to truly appreciate it, you have to be a vampire to really feel and understand.
And to get the lyrics and everything else. That makes sense to me. That's what I was saying. Like, I wondered if he was implying there was something hidden in it that I wasn't getting, and I wasn't sure.
I think maybe they have super hearing, and so the melodies might sound different to vampire ears than to human ears. But also, I think the lyrics have a lot of meaning. I guess if you listen to a love song and you had never been in love, would you get it as much as a person who had been in love? And maybe like a lot of these lyrics maybe mean more if you understand the thirst for blood or things like that.
That makes a lot of sense. I hadn't thought of it like that. That does make sense. But the point is that, like you said, 50,000 or whatever vampires are going to come. So the problem is, like, are they going to go after Lestat if he has this concert? And that's why through most of the episode, Louis like, you need to cancel because he's worried what's going to happen. And I know at one point, Gabrielle says to Louis, why don't you leave? And he's like, well, because it means a lot to him that I'm here when he's doing it. But yeah, it's putting them in danger.
I'm raising my hand. And also, Gabrielle is one of the vampires who believes that this concert is a watershed event that will trigger the Great Conversion, and that the vampires will become unified to go out and start turning a lot of humans and let vampires take over the world.
She's also jealous.
That too.
Yeah. Oh, as May says, LOL, Gabriella.
Yeah.
She's also very jealous.
She is very jealous.
She wants Louis gone.
And I feel like a lot of this episode, or not this episode, but this like Lestat singing, and when he's singing to Louis, like it's kind of pushing that a little bit, because she, I think, expects that he's doing it for her and everything, and she sees that he is kind of getting back together with Louis. And you're right, she's jealous, but she also like leaves. What was it that like she left her scarf or something in his home? And it's just kind of like, why is she playing these games? They're saying through the whole thing that they really shouldn't be together. And she's acting like at certain points, like Lestat shouldn't still be so hung up on her, but yet she's clearly stringing him along and causes a lot of it. She causes a lot of the drama herself.
I agree. She disappears for long periods of time and she kind of treats him like shit for like begging her to come back, but then she wants him on that hook. Can I take this comment?
Yeah.
May says, love this meeting with Louis. She doesn't really find him a threat at first. And then, she realizes.
I love during the song. It's obvious to viewers most likely that he's singing to Louis the whole time. But in the way they did it, it could be either one that he's singing to until she realized. I love that moment when she realizes he's singing to Louis. And you see that look on her face as she turns and looks at Louis like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. I like bees. Blood-sucking drug queen. That's new.
How did you guys like the cover of Dancing with Myself?
I liked it.
I was confused that he said singing a cover, but I liked it.
I was surprised that they threw an actual real song in there.
Like it's their warm-up song. At the end of it, Lestat says, okay, now let's get down to rehearsal. I read a little bit online. A lot of people liked it. Like it's the first time Lestat has sung a song that was like a little bit happy and fun. All of his songs are like vampire, angst, lost love. People are mean to me, the big bad, all this stuff, right? It was kind of fun, but I felt like that performance is not nearly as good as when like he sings these vampire songs, right? Which I guess
well, again, it's a warm-up.
He's written them, they mean something to him, and I
don't know. Like I said, I was confused that he was singing a cover because we hadn't heard that before. Like, okay, it's a warm-up, it makes sense, but
I feel like it was kind of fitting because it's kind of a perfect song for Lestat to warm up to. I think if nothing else, it kind of showcased what Sam Reed is capable of. Because like you said, he's been singing these very angsty, rock heavy songs the whole, and Dancing with Myself is just a fun kind of, and he's got that Billy Idol vibe to him anyway.
Yeah.
Thought it was a good fit.
Yeah.
He is always very hypnotizing, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word. I'm trying to think of a better description.
Everyone's like, oh yeah.
Probably not to AJ, but to the women and some men. He really I very much enjoy watching him.
No, you know what? Let me put it this way. As a straight man, he's very captivating. Like Sam Reed is really.
Yeah, he's awesome in this.
When he's singing, doing his performance, he's fun to watch.
Yeah, like I believe that he's a rock legend. Current, not, but he's fun to watch. He looks very good, and he's very fun to watch. And he's a pretty good singer too. I mean, I know he's like not per se a singer, and like he's doing it for the show, but he's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, if I'm honest, I feel like when we first watched this show, I didn't as much like their relationship. Like I don't know. I feel like I more enjoyed them getting back together. I did than their original. To be fair, their original relationship was never like a happy relationship. I mean, they were always.
Well, they're toxic as fuck.
They're very toxic. Yeah. But like I really enjoyed this sort of like, they're getting back together finally. Like I don't know, like I felt like that. Like I really felt it when he sang to him, and I liked it. I thought it was done really well.
And they know it's a bad idea to get back together, but they can't. And I guess like when you're a vampire for hundreds of years, like it's easier. Like I can never forgive my ex and never speak to them again. But it's only like 40 years and then I die, right? So, and maybe it's hard to hate someone for 200 years.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting though, because I wonder that you would stay in love with them all the time though for 200 years. Like I would think more often than not when they're alive that long that they wouldn't be with the same person. I don't know why I think that, but it kind of surprised me.
It makes sense.
I mean, it's funny because Armand has also been in love with Lestat for the same amount of time, even longer, right? Long before he met Louis. Although, like, Lestat cheated on Louis with various people, like in New Orleans, right? And was not like, I mean, they are toxic, but he. And then Louis went and had this whole other relationship with Armand for like 70 years, right?
Yeah, that's just kind of funny, like the relationship issues, you know, because you think about it in those terms, and it's a big difference. And he says Lestat reveals his vulnerability hardcore this episode. He does. And that's why I said I really felt like the emotion between him and Louis in this episode.
And what I love about this is the through line throughout the whole episode of this is a bad idea. And they're talking about like 5 different things. Their relationship, going to see Merrick, doing the concert, you know, it's just like, and you never know which thing they're talking about.
Yeah, because they keep pushing on all of them, on all fronts. So yeah, Louis, I think, realizes
he's introduced to Sophia in this episode, right?
Oh yeah. And she acts all nice to him on the surface, but it's clear, like we said, that she is very jealous of him. And like I said earlier, she does say to him, you know, well, if you think it's so bad for him, like at least you shouldn't be here. This is just going to hurt or to cause, you know, more issues. And he says that, you know, it means a lot to him that he's there. And I think she says something like, wouldn't it mean more to him that you're still alive? And I don't know if that was like serious or that was like her trying to push him away. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Louis says he'd be hurt if I wasn't there. And she said, I think he'd be more hurt if you were hurt.
Yeah. And that's what I kind of wondered, like, does she mean that like real advice, or is she just trying to get Louis to leave?
She's trying to get
rid of him. She what?
She's trying to get rid of him.
All right. I didn't know how to feel about that. Because it sounds on purpose like good advice.
That's how I know. That's how I took it.
Well, because it's
kind of true.
I mean, it's revealed. You're gonna go okay, so go ahead with the next couple shots.
This is where the vampire the interview.
Okay, so in between this, if you've gone right to the link, we skipped a little bit here where at the end of the rehearsal, Gabriella grabs Lestat and kisses him in a very not motherly okay, so
not motherly way, yeah.
That's not motherly.
You didn't skip it. But I guess where it's going is that she reveals here that they're intending to run away to Spain, the two of them, after the concert. Like, she doesn't think Louis coming. She thinks that she and Lestat are skipping the country after the concert, right? She says, we're going to Cadiz.
Yeah. And it seemed like after the performance he just gave that maybe he doesn't think that.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah. So then they're in the car, and this is when Louis sees the video, which is basically a viral video of Daniel, who has released, which Daniel's supposed to be making their damn documentary and doing good for them, but instead he has released footage of Lestat and Gabrielle, and is telling people that it's his mother, his real mother, and that there's
Armand is. Yeah, so he must have had a secret camera hidden in the bedroom, right?
Or whatever. Who knows? That may have not cared if he filmed them having sex, but
whatever room it was they had sex in, Daniel had a camera in there. They thought they were alone, right?
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, it's not so much even just he recorded them, but that he's telling everybody who she is.
Armand, but it's Armand. It's
Armand.
It's Armand saying like this is his mother, and then they cut to the clip of Daniel being like, "This is a promo for my new documentary." But Armand gives the intro, right?
Okay, you're right. The world still thinks
now you know they're in on it together.
Yes, but a lot of the world still thinks Lestat's dead at this point.
Yeah.
But I feel like, in my opinion, the way I take this, and yes, Armand's the one doing it, and Daniel's like helping him perpetrate this. But I mean, this whole thing is like to hurt Lestat in the sense that it'll hurt Louis and, you know, hurt Lestat. It's not just like, oh, look, he's sleeping with his mother, right? Like he wants them to crash and burn. and Lestat to lose everything he has. I guess I feel like it's definitely revenge against Louis or against Lestat.
I think if there's a level at which Lestat doesn't care, like I don't think Lestat has ever really cared that much what people think of him. It's an effort to inflame all the other vampires against Lestat for breaking this taboo, right?
But I thought you said before that like fledglings and then like their sex is different, and that's I look at when you said that the other vampires don't look at it like we look at it, but maybe I misunderstood.
They don't look at like the relationship with a fledgling, like yes, Lestat like doesn't think of her, but it's still is a taboo that she was his mother. Like it's not. I feel like it's not as horrible as for humans, but it's still not cool. I mean, Louis is clearly like horrified, but Louis has other reasons to be horrified. Like Louis is horrified by it.
Louis more cares he lied, I think, more than anything. It's not so much.
Louis says, and I have this here, he says, "Are you hitting the same vagina you spent the first 9 months of your mortal life in?"
Yeah, I
mean, he's horrified. But he's also horrified that it's this centuries-long relationship that isn't no. It's like you hung her picture over our coffins, and I thought it was just because it was your mother, right? Like there's two levels of like revulsion here. One is you're having sex with your mother. One is like you've had this lifelong like twisted like attraction, and you had it right in front of my face, and I didn't know about it.
Yeah, but yeah, I think more than anything, more mad he hid it and he lied about it. At least I feel like.
What do you think, AJ?
I think it was hilarious. I was so glad it finally came out because I was tired of that whole storyline.
Yeah.
And it turns out that the whole point of this incestuous relationship was just a plot point for Daniel's revenge and Daniel and Armand's revenge. That's the extent of it.
Yeah.
And that Lestat has issues.
Well, we knew that.
Yeah. Like Mace is pointing out, Lestat is usually desperate for her love and approval, and he usually uses sex to deal with his shit. He does. And you're right. This having sex with her is a lot of it's about his desperation for her love and approval since childhood, right?
Yeah.
Like and she's just not a I mean, if they were human, she might still be sleeping with him, right? It's still really bad.
That's a good point. Yeah, she's a piece of work. I really enjoyed this scene though, in a weird way, because like the whole, I guess, conversation with Louis and Lestat, because I feel like Lestat, there's a part of Lestat that knows it's fucked up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's also a part of Lestat that is so like under her spell and been so abused by his mother that he knows it's wrong, but he's like, we can't tell anybody you're my mother, but he still continues to have sex with her, right? So he's still like in there and not learned. And I feel like Louis sort of forces a mirror to it and forces him to admit to himself almost what's going on. And I think that's why like Lestat starts having a panic attack and throws up. I think it's like he's buried it far, I guess, is kind of the way I look at it. And he's like, no, this is wrong. And he's forcing him to confront that fact, is how I kind of took the scene. And that's why I really liked it, because it felt, I don't know, like it was really powerful to me. And I think that it was really a good scene in terms of like their relationship, especially when Louis is like not wanting to accept this because it's so fucked up. But then Lestat's like, yeah, well, all the shit with Claudia is not normal either. And I didn't question you or tell you, how wrong you were or anything. Like I was there for you. And for once, somebody's there for him. I don't know. I just really liked it, even if it was weird. I don't know how to say. I know it's fucked up, but I liked it.
It was really cathartic, right? Like this entire season, Lestat has been like on the brink of a breakdown. He's so, I'm going to use the word manic. I don't mean manic in a clinical, that's not really a clinical term anymore, but I mean manic, like you're running around like crazy all the time. He can't stop moving. He can't write. He doesn't want to stop to think. He's Like, he's really been on the edge all season, and finally it all comes out. I thought Louis kind of gave in a little quickly when Lestat has the panic attack. You don't?
No, I agree. I thought he did too.
I mean, did you think, Jamie, they resolved it between themselves? Like, as soon as he starts losing his shit and hyperventilating, Louis like, it's okay. Which I know you want to calm him down, but Louis seemed to like, then they just go sit in a park bench and have a chat. Louis seemed to be like, okay, whatever.
Oh, they went to the bar.
Yeah, it was quick, but I felt it was more like whenever Lestat was saying, hey, what about Claudia? I didn't, judge you. I felt like it was almost like he doesn't agree with it, but he loves him, so he's figuring it out. But yes, it was a little quick, but it's also, we're not getting multiple episodes, so they didn't. I get that they kind of pushed through it faster, but
well, and I guess maybe do you two think, or do people who are watching chatters with us tonight think, like, part of it is that Louis finally knows sees a reason why Lestat is such a fucked up person, and like maybe he gets that Lestat is like a victim. Like, it's not just being like he's a victim from his human life and before he became a vampire, right?
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, I do think that Louis gets more that a lot of it's trauma. And yeah, I think, like I said, I think that he's trying to understand and trying to accept it because, like, he's seeing the real Lestat, and like, this is who he is, and if he loves him, he has to deal with it, type of thing.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah. So then they go to the bar.
Yes, then they go to the bar. Wait, that's him after he threw up. And he threw up blood. Okay, that's in the bar. So they have more conversation about should he cancel the performance, and Louis doesn't want, or Lestat doesn't want to. Louis thinks he should. And like you said, there's other things they're talking about, basically saying everything's a bad idea. But this is when we get closer to the fact, and I don't know if they mention it here or not, but this is when they're going to go to the seance that he has set up for Louis to help him move on from Claudia. Since clearly Louis has not.
Let's be honest, it's not just for Louis.
It's for both. No, it is for both of them.
Well, but I want to go back and take Maze's comment in a second, but if you guys don't mind, because it was kind of relevant right now. But Maze pointed out Louis is just inherently selfish. It's his main issue. LOL. Every time Lestat fucks up, Louis just wants to bail. I mean, he kind of does. He is really selfish, and I think it's great that you said it right now, because this whole thing coming with the witch is also about Louis' selfishness, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like, just like I said, that Louis kind of forced Lestat to like see what's really happening. I feel like the same kind of thing actually is paralleled with Claudia, because Louis has been so far in denial. And look, as viewers, or at least as somebody who hasn't read the book, I definitely did not expect that. So we see, because we're kind of to some extent seeing from Louis' point of view when things happen, or from Lestat's point of view. And I feel like the same kind of thing was with Claudia, where she like forced him to actually see like the truth of what really went down, and a lot of the things that he was maybe denying and not realizing he was denying. So, yeah. But that was not cathartic for them.
I mean, all of their fledglings are fucked up. They don't have any fledgling. They don't have any fledgling that likes them and hangs out with them, right?
Yeah, no, they don't. But hey, he has a board of caution. He's using that as an excuse.
Yeah.
All right. So they go to the seance with, you said her name's Merrick. I couldn't remember her name. Is Merrick, who has
Mayfair.
She's Merrick Mayfair. She's a Mayfair family.
Mayfair witch. And she has agreed to contact Claudia from the hell, so that they can, I don't know, tell her goodbye, resolve their issues, whatever they feel.
He wants to apologize to her, but it's that typical, as you're alluding to right now, Jamie, and said earlier about the selfishness, like he wants to apologize, but he wants to apologize so he can feel better, right? Not so Claudia can feel better, like, right?
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
Like if you wronged somebody 70 years ago and they haven't talked to you because they're dead, like you don't get to just call someone like if I had a boyfriend I treated badly 20 years ago, or if you had somebody that you did something to, you don't just get to call them up and be like, I'm sorry, so that you can feel better. Like, I shouldn't say a boyfriend you broke up with, but somebody you really wronged, right? Like, let those people, like, they've dealt with it and moved on. It's really selfish of Louis to want to talk to her, I think, at this point. But the whole Claudia thing, like, you pay a woman who looks like her to act like her, you're a selfish freako.
Yeah. But I think he maybe doesn't, I'm trying to think of the right way to say it, like, doesn't realize a lot of the things that he did wrong with Claudia. Like, I don't think he has come to terms with it to even know that he was wrong.
I think he's not self-aware enough. Neither one of these two is self-aware enough, right?
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying this was totally her saying this wasn't a good thing.
Yeah.
We had one.
Yeah. So she's a Mayfair cousin. You won't find her directly in the Mayfair witches that you're seeing on the show right now. I mean, she does cross paths with them at some point in Mayfair witches, right? But she's like a separate branch.
Yeah.
And they're not going to cover her on the show. She's. I don't think she's in the Mayfair witches books, is she?
No.
AJ? It's only
first time we meet Merrick is in Merrick.
Is in Merrick, yeah.
Well, either way, she is using her ability to bring back Claudia, who smashes her face into the table because she doesn't want to be brought back. But she continues the seance.
And then Merrick says, "Oh, that's going to cost you more. I have to find a dentist now."
Yeah, I know. And yeah, May's poor Claudia. Nothing was about her is what that was supposed to
Nothing was about her. Even when they turned her, it was because Louis wanted her turned. She didn't ask to be turned. Louis was like, "Oh, Lestat, turn her for me, please. Save her, right?"
Yeah.
Like they could, like they, yeah.
And yeah, she basically says what she feels. I mean, like I said, I was shocked about a lot of it because I haven't read it and I did not know that she, held all of that anger towards Louis, and that some of stuff that had happened, like I don't know how to say what I mean. I don't want to say that she gaslighted him because that probably isn't really the right way to say it. But that some of the things that happened, like, didn't really, like, she was, I don't want to say playing him either, but I guess in certain circumstances, she lied to him and she kind of made him think that things were different than they were, I guess. She had nothing to lose here, so she could just be brutally honest. Yeah. But yeah, she tells him how she really feels, so.
I think you used the right word, Jamie, when you said she played them. She hated them both, and she played one against the other, and she knew she could manipulate Louis more easily, and that's why he was the favorite, but he really was. She's like, "Oh, actually, I liked Lestat better. I acted like I hated Lestat and loved Louis, but I actually like Lestat better because at least he is who he says he is."
Yeah, and that he could see who she was. But I think the big thing here too, though, is like she's really, telling the truth of how she feels. And just like when she talks about the guy, Bruce, is it Bruce? Or is that the wrong name?
Bruce, yeah.
Bruce.
Where she's like, did that make you feel good? You went after him. That wasn't for me. That was for you. Like,
yeah,
she had already moved on from being assaulted, and he, made it more, I don't want to say made it more than it was, because I mean, it was still that he raped her and it was still an awful, awful thing, but he made it about himself, and made it like he was this great guy because he avenged her, and she didn't need to be avenged. She had, was strong and had moved past it, and he's still stuck on that, I guess, in her eyes.
And she was dead, so, right?
Yeah, and it was so long ago. Like, she's kind of like, why this? Yeah, this was about making you feel better.
There's a couple. Go ahead, AJ. I want to.
I was gonna say was, all I gotta say is Delaney Hales killed that scene. Like, that whole scene was so powerful. She did an amazing job.
She did.
That's like
Did you guys,
Emmy episode.
Sorry, did you watch the After Dark thing?
No, I don't get it on my app.
I just don't watch it.
It's only on AMC Plus, I think, right?
No, it's on demand. I usually don't watch it, but you know what? I take that back. I'm not sure whether it was on demand or it was at the end of my DVR recording. It might have been on the end of the DVR.
Anyway.
But no, I was just going to say they talked about how kind of like her reaction to, having Claudia feel all these things, and how she was saying, that she was, being honest for the first time, but also about how she may have reacted differently if Lestat wasn't there. That like the fact that Louis and Lestat are back together is like she's jealous of in a way, because it's kind of like throw it in her face, because she can't be with the person she loves, and that pissed her off even more.
So I will say, Jamie, AJ, as I recall, this is almost exactly as it happens in the books, the things she says and the way she acts. Except Lestat is not there in the book, right? It's only Louis is there in the book, I think.
No, Lestat's there too. So's David.
They're all three there? It's not just David and Louis? Lestat's there? Because Lestat had been asleep from Memnoch for like ever.
Yeah, but Lestat was there.
Am I supposed to know who David is?
No, David Merrick is the
no.
I'm like, oh, David.
The next book is Queen of the Damned, and then the book. So no, you should know who he is, but he's a character who's probably coming. Maybe
you'll find out who he is next season.
Maybe next season he's coming. Yeah. He is. So in the books, he's the guy who set up this meeting with Merrick for them.
Oh, okay. I see.
For Louis, I don't recall what's happening there, but okay. But the whole, like the way it all plays out and how she behaves and how angry she is and the things she says this is pretty much exactly from the book.
Interesting. Kelly says, I noticed Lestat had tears for this, but not Louis. I didn't notice that.
I noticed that too. I noticed that.
Interesting. Yeah, Louis is the one that's been so broken by it, though. So that's really interesting to hear that.
Karen,
maybe
right.
Lestat has feelings.
I think Lestat was with them, but I think he went back into his catatonic state before they actually called Claudia.
Yeah, he was not in the seance, I think, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's been a long time since I've read Merrick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So I thought of it, Jamie, because for them to say like how she would behave if Lestat was there or wasn't there, in the book he's not there, and she does exactly this.
Oh, okay. Well, she may not have read the book.
Yeah, she might not have. A lot of actors don't read the book because they want to do their own thing, right?
Yeah. May says that Louis says, okay, Claudia, I'll kill myself and be with you. And she's like, oh, fuck no, I hate your guts. Interesting.
Yeah.
They could have added that, but I guess they didn't.
She talks a lot about, another thing that should be pointed out here, she confesses here that, do you remember when she says, like on the train ride home, when you guys rescued me from Bruce on the train ride home, like Lestat threatened to also rape her and do worse to her. And she's like, I made that up just to like push you two apart. If you remember early in the season when Lestat is reading the book and he writes in the margin, all lies that never happened, it's that passage of the book that he wrote it on.
Yep.
Like, that's one of the things that Lestat has been so, like, he's like, it's full of lies, stuff that never happened. That is one of the things that he's been so mad about all this time.
Yeah, which wasn't Louis' fault. I mean, Louis didn't know she lied.
But Louis believed it about him.
Yeah, true. But I mean, if he wasn't told to the contrary, how could he? Or what? Yeah, I guess he was. I think Louis, did he deny it back then? I can't remember if they ever.
I don't know. She hated them. I mean, one thing she doesn't articulate that well here is why she hates them. I mean, I think she hates that they turned, in the books, she's like, what is she, like 5 or 6 years old when they turn her, and she's condemned to life in a child's body. And that's a huge source of her anger throughout her entire story arc, right?
Which we don't have that here. I mean, they had a little bit of that they did, but it didn't work as well, and they couldn't go too far into it just because she is so much older.
I mean, supposed to be like 15. She's condemned to a 15-year-old's body.
Yeah.
Which is bad, but not as bad. But I mean, that's a source of her rage against them that maybe maybe it would have been helpful for her to drop that line in here, right? To remind us all of like how bad, like she does seem, I mean, I don't know how old the actress is in real life, but she is like a, you know, I mean, a lot of 15-year-olds are like a full grown woman.
Yeah.
I mean, not mentally, but physically they look that way, right?
Yeah. So that part doesn't play that well because she does look like a full-grown woman. But I mean, I understand why they changed that, like with the show. But I agree with you, like why keep the line, and it maybe didn't need to be there.
Yeah. And then the person that she loved was also killed, right, with her, and she like never. I mean, I agree with you that Delaney Haynes, that's her name, right? Delaney Haynes. Fantastic, wonderful job here. Everyone did a great job here, and this was a highlight scene of the episode.
Yeah, a big part of it though is that she can't reconnect with the woman she loves. That's what a lot of her.
Oh yeah, she's been looking around. She never says it's hell, but we know it's hell, right? And she's searching for her every day. I think because that person is not there. She was still human when they killed her, right?
No, she had turned her.
She was turned?
Yeah.
Well, a vampire, I guess all vampires go to hell, although since vampires don't have souls, I don't know why they go to hell. But where she went, she's been searching for, I forget the woman's name. I want to say Martine. I know that's not it. And can't find her. And so, like for Claudia, her hell is to be always seeking her lost love and never find her, right? May says she would have picked Lestat to be with, but yeah, she could never get Lestat to do what she wanted, so he had to die. Yeah, that's why that's why she chose Louis and manipulated Louis into killing Lestat. It's like an unbelievable betrayal. It's incredible. It was incredible.
I thought of poisoning you or something.
Yeah. And it was equally shocking, AJ, I think, when we read the book, no? Did you find it equally shocking in the book? I did.
Yeah, because because everything we'd been told up to that point was from everybody else's perspective. So to actually hear it from Claudia's perspective was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Which made perfect sense too, though. When you think about it.
That didn't know it.
And that and her girlfriend was Madeline.
Madeline. Yeah.
One thing to remember, good point that you've made here, AJ, the whole first book and the whole first season, Interview with the Vampire, like it's told from Louis' POV. It's Louis telling the story to Daniel, right? And so, of course, Louis is telling a story that is making himself look good. Even if he's not intentionally doing that, we all are the hero of our own story, right?
Yeah. But Lestat didn't know it either. I mean, he didn't realize she felt the way she did, I don't think, either.
Well, Lestat was her maker, so he couldn't read her mind.
Right, true. All right, so she does, like I said, she did break the circle of salt. So will she be back? Maybe. Will Merrick be back? Probably not. But yeah, I don't know exactly what that means that she got out of that.
I think Merrick won't be back, although she does have more story. The book doesn't end at this moment. She has a little more story, right, AJ? But I don't know that we'll see that.
I mean, she has a whole book.
Yeah, and there's more story after this incident, but I don't know that we'll see any of that.
Yeah. All right, so now we have Louis and Lestat talking about what happened, dealing with it, deciding if they're going to go forward with the concert. They're kind of just talking about everything. And there's a whole thing about, I forget exactly what's said, but about the flower boxes or something. Like basically they want to be together and are happy together is kind of where the gist of the conversation. But it's sort of overshadowed by what happened, which is why I don't really remember exactly what they said. Because he sees Alex. Okay, I keep wanting to call him Larry. That was the other guy. He sees Alex there, standing there again. And I think like he kind of reads his mind. Well, no, because he can't read his mind. He turned him. I thought that he I thought he read his mind, but he didn't.
Gabrielle turned him. That's why he can talk to him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Why do I not remember Gabrielle turned him? I don't know why. Anyway,
because we didn't actually see it.
We didn't. Okay. So yeah, that's what I thought then. That made more sense then, because he kind of, when he sees Alex, he reads whatever his mind, whatever he's thinking. And that's how he sort of knows like a fraction of a second before it happens that it's going to happen, or that something bad's going to happen. Not necessarily what's going to happen, but that something bad is going to happen. And Armand and Daniel are there and decapitate the two of them, and their heads fall. Okay, for someone who didn't read the book, I was like completely confused, shocked. Like, is this the end of their story? And it's just because of the way they ordered things. But it sounds like from listening to the After Dark special that like this was not in the book.
No,
Okay.
No, it was not.
Everybody was like, "What the fuck?" Then,
in the book, Jamie, they have the concert, and like a whole bunch of vampires come and attack.
Well, hold on, Karen, because that's probably still going to happen. That's got to still happen.
All right,
that has to happen. Still.
You're right; it has to happen because of the whole thing.
See,
right.
I think what's going to happen next week is it's going to deviate completely and have absolutely nothing to do with anything other than whatever the hell this is. And then next season's going to pick up with the concert.
Yeah, because he can't have the concert as a head.
Now, well, he can't live as a head.
Yeah, that was my other question. We talked earlier in the season. I asked you guys about when he decapitated that person, and you said something like they could live away from their body for a short amount of time or something.
Short amount of time.
So yeah, that's my question. How are they going to be alive? Because clearly, I don't think they're killing them there. Knowing it isn't in the book, I don't think they're going to kill them there. And we know that Louis was in the beginning of the season, like the future or whatever. So we know he's going to be alive anyway. But yeah, that was just like a what the fuck is going on moment, and I didn't know what to think.
Yeah, I think they're going to take them somewhere and tie them up and put their heads back on and torture them. I don't know. I don't know what from here. I have no idea what it's
going. Did you see the preview?
Come on. Do I watch previews?
You don't watch trailers. Okay. What was that? I don't know if it was after the episode or after the After Dark. But yeah, I won't say anything because you don't want to know what happens anyway. I wonder if part of what you said, some other stuff comes first, but I don't know. So yeah, anyway, this was bizarre.
I would say that Lestat is a very, very old and powerful vampire. Louis is a very powerful vampire. Lestat has the blood of Akasha, and Lestat made Louis. And I think he could survive a couple hours as a head, and that they could. God,
I hope they don't do that.
Grow his head back together or something like that.
Yeah, he could totally. Yeah. All they got to do is put their heads back on their bodies, and it'll. Yeah.
I mean, I think that like we did talk about it when that guy Bruce got beheaded, right? Is that when we talked about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Bruce's bodyguard.
Bruce's bodyguard. But they were young and like not strong vampires, right? Like they were jerks, but they were not like super ancient, like great vampires. And I mean, we've seen a lot of people get their heads cut off and they die, but I think introducing the blood of Akasha might allow them to stick the head back and it grows back together, maybe something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. But I also know now that clearly Daniel can walk around in the daylight. So I don't know.
That's surprising. Although Armand is ancient also and a powerful.
Yeah, I like what Maze says here. He's like, I kind of didn't like it at first. Like, we all know this isn't going to last. So don't know what the big reason is except shock value, which I agree with. I don't really. Again, I mean, that's why I say I kind of think this is going to be a capture situation, and what better way to capture two powerful vampires than to cut their heads off so that they have no control for however long it takes them to get them from point A to point B and then put their heads back on. I really hope they don't do any type of thing like Karen's saying, like, oh, they're pretty powerful so they can last a couple hours with their heads cut off. No, please, no. Let's not be ridiculous.
I mean, I think
because vampires that are beheaded is so not ridiculous anyway.
Because what?
No, I'm just because the whole situation is already. But hey, it's
Yeah, I mean, Fareed talks about it earlier in the season, like earlier in the episode in the season when Daniel is talking to Fareed, they do discuss decapitation, right? And I just pulled up the quote. He says, a study done in Budapest had 2 Class B vampires surviving separation for nearly 2 hours. A vampire of Lestat's breeding could last 4 to 5 times that. Like he like looking back in episode 3, he does sort of foreshadow.
I forgot about that. But
did he say the part about Lestat, or is that what the?
Yeah, he says this is from the script. A vampire of Lestat's breeding could last 4 to 5 times that. So Lestat has about 10 hours, maybe. That
I really hope they don't do that, because come on, that's just ridiculous.
But it's the blood of Akasha. Look, Akasha survived.
I understand that.
They survived being put out in the sun. That's what made them brownstone, not whitestone, right? Like,
but I understand all that, but I'm sorry. I swear to God, if I see Lestat's head sitting on a fucking table talking to Daniel for an hour, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
No, but they could put it back on, and then it could start to grow, and it would take. They'd have to drink a lot of really great strong blood, right? Like, we don't know what's going to happen. Like, could another powerful vampire that could Marius show up and be like, here, drink my blood, it'll help you heal? Could somebody else show up? Like, we don't know, right? But I think they could put the head back on. I'm just saying what might happen.
Well, I mean, they could drink from Armand to heal quicker too.
So Armand could be like, I mean, he does love Lestat so much, Armand. Like, does he really? So there's a comment here. There's a comment here. Hang on a second. May says maybe it was just meant to be a warning shot by Weasel Armand. Be like, I chopped your head off. I mean, one thing that bothered me a little bit about this scene, and we got so many great comments here from you guys. What was I about to say about Armand and why this happened? I mean, Armand could be a Weasel warning shot by Armand.
I feel like maybe it's because he wants him to know that he can kill him. You know what I mean? Like, I can do whatever I want to you and you won't know it's coming type of thing, like you see in some stories.
Oh, I was going to say, it surprised me that I thought that a vampire like Lestat, that it would be harder for Daniel and Armand to sneak up on him and like sneak up on the two of them. Louis spent 70 years with Armand, right? And
because they were both entranced in their moment.
Because they're so like having their moment of love and getting back together that they're oblivious to the assassin sneaking, the vampire assassin sneaking up on them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I can buy that.
Yeah. I'm gonna withhold my true feelings until I see how it plays out, because this could be good or it could be really bad, and I'm not sure which way it's gonna go.
Kelly's right; it was shocking. And somebody.
And that's I feel like that's part of the problem, though, is the show doesn't need shock value. It doesn't need that gotcha moment.
I think so. This show is like a combination of really great acting and meaningful stuff, like we saw with Claudia, and then like total cheeseball vampire soap opera moments like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially even like the beginning of the season was just like total craziness. So. Yeah, it fits to me. I mean, did we need it? Maybe not, but I totally can see that, like, it makes sense in the way.
I mean, we all agree. Every single person who watches the show agrees they're not dead, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I kind of wondered, because I know like there's different books, but I was like, I couldn't see them having a whole nother season if this was the end of their story, unless like the rest of it was in like flashback. I didn't think. Like,
well, let's put it this way, Jamie. Karen and I've been saying all along how we don't see how this season is only 7 episodes, that it's going to have to continue next season, because we didn't know they were, going to get beheaded by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And to answer Maze's question, no, we don't know that about Armand yet.
What? Armand is old school. Do we know in the show he adheres to the old rules?
No.
Yes, we do. Yes, he has said several times that he doesn't agree with, like, his children are
he has said he doesn't agree with stuff, but we haven't really delved into what he believes.
I mean, his coven is called Children of Satan, right? And they have talked about how they lived in a cave. They believe in the old ways.
But they've mentioned things, but nobody that hasn't read the books doesn't know what that means.
And Okay, and Armand is very against the Great Conversion. He thinks the vampires are making too many vampires. He thinks that Lestat living out loud is a problem. I mean, so we don't know. Yes, I think TV watchers don't know what all the old rules are and everything that Armand believes in. But I mean, Jamie, you understood that Armand was old school, right?
Yeah.
I gotta say one thing.
After Lestat.
I gotta say one thing. We've been calling him Armand the Weasel, Weasley Armand, or whatever. But I want to know why the writers chose to go this direction with him, because he is not like this in the books. Like, he's old school in the books, but he is not like this. Like, this is
like a love sit, like a jilted, a vengeful jilted lover, right?
Yeah. This is something else.
And like, it is a little very soap opera. Like, you know how like on soap operas, like you'll have like a villain who's in love with someone and they do this crazy shit to get their attention. And like, do you really think this is going to make this person love you and come to you? Like, that's kind of how Armand
is. Then they do in soap operas.
Yeah.
I like that what May said. The writer's room is one side trauma therapy and one side Expendables.
It kind of is, right?
It totally
all right. We should probably move on to Star City.
Well, it was the finale, so we had to take a little.
No, it wasn't.
We have one more episode next week.
Oh, that's right, we do. Why am I thinking it's the finale? Okay.
Because usually when people get their heads chopped off, it's a good cliffhanger for the finale.
It is usually a cliffhanger. All right. I will join you guys back up at the end of the show, since I haven't seen the other two shows. But I did really like that episode. I thought it was probably the best of the season, I would say.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. All righty. Have fun, guys.
Finally, good episode of Star City.
I want everybody in chat land to know that when I was watching this episode, there were still 5 minutes to go, and I texted Asia and I said, I don't think I can watch Star City anymore. That was too depressing. I stand by it. I don't know if I want to watch it. Like, this was, I mean, for a season finale, this was rough.
This reminded me of The 100, and not because it's anything like The 100. It reminded me of The 100 because it was like season 4 when we were like, this show sucks. We're fucking done. And then the finale nailed it.
Yeah.
So we kept watching.
Yeah, this finale, I mean, look, it was good. It was a good episode. As you said to me, like, yeah, finally, like, it was the best episode of the season. I'm like, it was so depressing. Like, yeah, but it was the best episode of the season. And I said, because finally there's an episode that took place in space. It's a show about space, and we finally got some action in space on this show, right?
That being said, I want to get my first big gripe out of the way. They pulled, I don't know what, maybe you know, Karen.
Ooh, I'm losing your audio there for a second.
Sorry. When they used to do the old serials where, like, the old, I mean, before both our times, but the old black and white serials where, like, the hero would ride off the cliff, and you're like, oh my God, how's the hero going to survive, riding his horse off a cliff? And then the next week, when it picks back up, the hero hasn't ridden off the cliff. They just, used to do cliffhanger. That's how cliffhangers actually became a thing.
Yeah.
I feel like we got that with this.
With Valia.
I feel like last week that explosion was a lot bigger than the fire we see in this episode.
I kind of think you're right. Like, it was just a little fire in this one little part of the spaceship after all.
Yeah.
And nobody got hurt at all. Like,
and last week it was an explosion.
I mean, I think most of us who were here on this show, Fandom Access, 2 weeks ago, we all kind of were like, they're definitely dead, except it's TV, so no body, not dead, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think it might have been Kelly that said that was a big explosion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then this week it was a little tiny fire.
It did look a lot smaller. So last week we had seen Sergei figured it out. Like, Sergei hears the transmission, and he's like, there's like, he doesn't say maybe they're alive, but he's like, it's coming back. It's going to land. Right. And so we get like this whole flashback. So maybe we talk about that part of it first. We have a lot of flashback with Sasha and Lakshmi. Actually, it's not flashback. It's contemporary. And then there's flashback with Valia and this whole like What do you think about all that?
I think that was poorly done.
Really?
Because I got lost. I got confused 2 or 3 times. On which I finally figured it out. I finally realized that I had to go by Sasha's beard to know which if we were in the now or if we were in 8 months ago.
You had to go by what? You dropped out for a second.
Sasha's beard.
Oh yeah, by Sasha's beard. Yeah, because at one point I'm looking at him and his beard, I was like, wait, that's not a 9-month beard. Like he's only got like a 1-month beard. What's going on, right? And then that's because like we learned Valia is actually still alive at that point.
Yeah, because like they were talking about their significant others, which seemed like they were talking about getting excited going home to see them. Yeah. And then you see Valia, and I was like, wait, Valia's alive? Like the way that he doesn't want to talk about Valia, I figured Valia was dead, and then I realized, oh wait, this is 8 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little hard to. You had to like get a, but I think that was you think it was poorly done. I think it maybe was a little intentional. Like they were intentionally.
I think it was intentional. It doesn't change the fact that it was poorly done.
All right, because you couldn't understand it right away. So, or even not right away, but it took a few scenes for you to understand that.
But what is it? I mean, I get it. I don't understand how it gains. You gain anything storytelling wise by doing that. Like, don't you want your audience to be able to follow the story coherently?
And not play to a gotcha?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it ends up being, I mean, what do you think of the story setting aside the way they presented it, what do you think about the story they gave us about these 3 people in space together?
I kind of saw where it was going once, we see they're alive. We see that Valia's alive. It was pretty clear that Valia is not alive in the present time. So I thought, he's going to do something to sacrifice himself to save them, which is exactly went down. But I got to say, I was kind of happy for Valia because when he makes it to Venus, I was like, well, at least he got to see Venus before he got crushed. How cool was that, by the way?
I mean, it's a total Kelly Baldwin moment, right?
Yeah.
I mean, did you think of it? How many did you and Chatters, did you immediately think of Kelly on Titan?
I didn't.
You didn't? No, I immediately was like, this is like when Kelly like sacrifices her life on Titan and she's like the first person to walk, she discovers water on Titan and then she like then she kills over and dies. Right?
Well, we don't actually see her die. We see her walking in the water.
All right, yeah, you're right. But she dies alone.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's not Kelly wasn't the first moment like that in this franchise either.
No, she wasn't, but Kelly was the most recent one, and that's why it was on my mind, right?
Yeah, I didn't really think about it.
We've seen other people like sacrifice themselves. I mean, we saw Molly Cobb
closer to Gordo and Tracy.
And Molly Cobb, who runs out and saves the guy from the radiation storm and then dies a slow death from cancer, right? No, she gets cancer, can't go to space, and then she gets blown up in the bombing.
She died in the bombing.
I mean, it's a redemptive arc for Valia, who didn't really need to be redeemed to us, but he did need to be redeemed to Sasha, right? Like Sasha was so mad at him for like betraying them and talking. I assume that
Valia gave him the story.
Valia gave him the whole story, like off screen, right? In the 8 months.
I would assume so.
I mean, because in the beginning, we have that kind of fake out where Sasha says, Lakshmi's like talking about Valia, and Sasha says, I don't want to talk about him. And like, I guess you're supposed to think it's like because he betrayed them or because he's dead and he was his best friend. And then, we learn of Valia's sacrifice. I mean, first of all, Valia is the one who figures out how to use Venus to, there's always a math hero in every one of these crises. There's a math hero who does the math and figures it out, right?
Well, because at the end of the day, this is all about math. It's all math.
It's a whole show about math, really.
It really is.
Uh-huh. I mean, I'm glad Sasha's alive. I'm glad Lakshmi's alive. There was no way Valia was going to live anyway. but he ends up having a good death. It was kind of, look, we know when he's going to go down to Venus, he's going to die, but it was really ironic that the bathysphere then implodes, right? The chief designer's whole thing was like, let's get this bathysphere. It's meant to go down to the depths of the ocean. It can survive the pressure. And then actually, like within 3 minutes of hitting the surface of Venus, it totally implodes from the pressure. It doesn't work.
No, that was a cool scene though.
It was kind of a cool scene. And we got a comment from Kelly here. Yeah, and Sasha liked Tanya too, so you would think he would have forgiven him. I would like to have seen a super fast scene on that. Yeah. What, like maybe confessing that he had an affair with his wife, or just a super fast scene of like them reconciling? Maybe not
just
talking
him
about
telling him why he did what he did, that he did it for Tanya.
Like they threatened Tanya and I had no choice. I had to do it. And then Sasha, who maybe at some point thought he was in love with Tanya, would have understood that. Yeah, I agree with you guys. A super fast scene on that might have helped put a little pin on, a little bit of frosting on Valya's cake.
Agreed.
So meanwhile, back on Earth, did you see I subtitled this picture? Oh, I can't hide the comment. Sneaky Sergey.
Oh no.
Sergey's figured it out, and now he's got to sneak. Apple didn't drop very many photos. They never do, but they dropped even fewer than usual this week. So I don't have a ton of pictures of what goes on here, but the Sergey storylines are crazy because so many times I think Sergey really should be shot, except we know that he lives a long life, right? On the other show.
Yeah, he doesn't get shot until For All Mankind.
He doesn't get shot till like the 80s.
No, like the 90s.
Right? Like the 90s. Yeah, he gets shot like way, way later. Which is not a spoiler because I don't believe anybody's watching this show who didn't already watch For All Mankind, right?
Fair enough.
So how did you like this part of the story?
I liked all this. I thought, I especially like the stuff later with the other Sergey, with the chief designer.
Oh, chief designer, yeah. So Sergio's the chief designer, and he needs his help, right? To try to this is the guy who does the math, right? Chief designer does a lot of the work to help them contact Stasia up on the spaceship, right? And give her the message. There's all this about like, let's send her a message. She can give them a message. They've got to get their trajectory, blah, blah, blah. And it is Sergey and the chief designer who are like, it is not safe for them to come back to the Soviet Union. Like they were supposed to have been blown up. They'll definitely get killed if they show up in the Soviet Union, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I liked it. I kind of liked the addition of the chief designer's wife being like, leave him alone, get out of here. Like we're already under house arrest. Like it's a miracle this guy's alive also. I don't even know why like they've kept this guy alive.
Well, we do know because because Roscova still wants to use him for information and stuff when she can.
Yeah. Because she doesn't know the math or space, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she needs him.
She understands it better than the new chief designer, though.
Yeah.
Boy, did she get him good.
Oh, I don't have a picture of him, but boy, does she get him good. And it was kind of, so I hate her. Like, do I hate her? I mean, are we supposed to hate her?
I go back and forth on her. Because as much as I dislike her, I hate the new chief designer.
Oh, that new guy. Yeah, I forget that guy's name. I can never get his name right.
So Kelly said she was confused why they used the fake chief designer for the beatdown. For the same reason, I think, because they still can use him for information and stuff. So beat up somebody that doesn't matter, and you still get the same results from Kulikov.
I mean, I guess also, despite everything that, like, what a thorn he is in her side, he is a national hero and a public figure. So Like, do you need him going around being beat up? Like, could that word get out? Or like, you can't maybe just kill him. I mean, I guess you could. You'd be like, oh, he's an old man. He had a heart attack.
It's
right?
the Soviet Union. They could do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah. So I guess because she needs him, but
Come on,
that,
Yana confessed and then tried to escape.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's why they killed her. That's a brutal scene. That's like maybe the most brutal part of the whole episode, right? And
I'll tell you what,
fell for
it. Yeah, we both fell for it.
I fell for it. And then after, like, they bring Sergei in, and Sergei, you know, when they bring Sergei to the cell and learn the truth, then I was like, oh, wait, we never saw his face. We only saw his glasses on the floor. Like, you know.
Well, he was so beat up, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it either. Like, it was kind of brilliant, right?
Yeah, they did a great job with it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys in the chat, Kelly, did you fall for it also? I totally believed that. I totally believed it. I did not see that part coming, and that made it like a worse gut punch to me. To be like, oh, Sergei.
Yeah, because Nikolov, when he realizes what he's done, you know, he's like, oh my god. But chief designer's like, dude, it's all right. Like, it's fine.
He's like, yeah, this is. He says, I think he says, this is what they do, right?
Yeah.
It actually also is like giving me a little more. It's like fleshing out Sergei's character on For All Mankind for me a little bit, right? Like why he does what he does, what he's been through. Like they've been like Roscova, and I guess the rest of the CIA has owned him since he was a little engineer in the 70s, in 71, 72, whenever this is, right? Like, to think like Sergei, like when we meet him, he's been owned by the KGB really for 30 years already when we meet him, right?
Yeah.
It's terrible. But Raskova, we got a comment. Maybe Kelly answered. Yeah, Kelly says, yeah, I for sure fell for it. Good, not just us. So Raskova gets what she needs, and now she's going to screw the new chief designer. It was kind of awesome. As much as she's a horrible character and a horrible person, it was kind of awesome.
It's like you're lesser of two evils.
I mean,
like, I root for her over the new chief designer, but I root for all our other people over her.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I love how she gets the upper hand on him. He's kind of a bozo. He's just in there for political reasons, although we don't really know how she got in there either, right? You wouldn't really know why she.
Well, she's a soldier. You know, I think she's definitely earned her position.
Yeah.
Especially considering the fact that she's a woman, she definitely busted her ass to get it. She's a woman in power in the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how'd you like the whole race to get to Finland?
That was fun. That was exciting. I love the back and forth. They show the new chief designer, and he's like, "Where are they? What do you mean they're not here?" I was like, "Aha!" She didn't tell him.
I love when that guy has to come to him and he's been like, they're off course. What do you mean they're off course? They're not landing here. And then, like, he's in Kazakhstan. They're going to Finland. There's no way. And when the boss calls up and is like, they're going to Finland, he's like, okay, I'm leaving now. And like, what? You're leaving now?
He's like, Roscova's already taken care of it. And he's like, oh, man, there goes my plan.
It's like, oh, that woman beat me.
But what did you think about when Anastasia, like, basically outed herself and was like, listen, my husband's about to land. They need my help. I thought for sure the KGB guy was going to be like, no.
I thought it was kind of great. Like, this guy, like these other guys who are up there, they're in charge of like looking down and taking pictures of like America, right? They're like basically like space spies, and they're up there to operate this camera, and that they like would do that for her was kind of great. I only have this. What pictures do I have of her? I only have this picture of her today. But
it works.
she's like, we can help them. And the guy's like, no, we cannot use that for any reason. And then he like quietly nods. And I just love that they were like, you know, I don't know if they would have done it if Sasha wasn't her husband, right? Like they know Sasha's her husband, and Sasha's kind of a big famous astronaut and national hero also, right?
I love that when she lands, the farmer and his wife come running up with pitchforks.
Yeah. Kelly loved that they went along with it. It was kind of great. Like finally, like we did have a few people in this episode that are kind of doing what we consider the right thing. Like there was that guy that helped Sergei also, and he's like, okay, I helped you, leave me out of it now. I don't want to get caught. And these guys are like, no, we can't possibly do that. They know someone's listening. And then they're like, yeah, whatever. Just go take the escape capsule. And she goes down. This was incredible. And this is like all season long. I've been like, is she the star? Like, is she star of the show or is she not the star of the show? Like, what's going on with her? Right. And
So is this so Sasha deciding to give himself up because Anastasia's caught? Is that why it's so depressing for you?
I mean, a lot was depressing. I was devastated for Sergei when, like, to me, that was very depressing when Sergei finds out that he was tricked and he gave up their location and it was an imposter being beaten up and he's been so manipulated. It was just so sad. That to me, that was really devastating. This was really, I mean, I was glad that Sergei was able to get Lakshmi to safety and get her across the border. I don't know why Belikova didn't. To me, it looked like Stasha could also just run across the border and have saved herself. Like she gave herself up to give him a chance. I thought she could have made it. Do you think she could have made it, or is this like why did Rose not let Jack get on the door? He could have lived, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that they could have all made. I mean, if she had driven through the blockade, then yeah, they all could have made it. Yeah. But that would have been a bad move because they probably would have shot her.
I thought she was going to. I thought she was going to bust right through that fence. She'd be like, get in the truck, and they'd all drive through. Is where I thought that was.
Yeah, going. I actually did think that she was going to have them get in the truck and they were going to like open a gate.
Yeah.
But the way it played out made sense. You know, and like Kelly says, she did all she could to save him, but he couldn't leave her behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she kind of wanted him to. And you're right, Kelly. This is a great pick. This is maybe the best picture Apple has ever put on any of their press drops ever. It's awesome with those flowers. Yeah, I think like they both were trying to sacrifice for each other, right? Like she was like, you run, I'll stay here, let them get me, give you the chance to get away instead of them both. It's more important for him to get away than for them to get away together, right?
I think her thought process was kind of like, since the world already thought he was dead, it's easier to kill him. Whereas she's a national treasure, so maybe she had some wiggle room.
Oh, she's not only a national treasure; she's like a global celebrity, right?
Yeah. I tell you one thing though, when the KGB when they were shooting at them running across the field, I thought, oh, good, they employed stormtroopers. Because I'm sorry, they're in a wide open field and they didn't even come close to shooting them.
No, I don't know why they got what's her name? Lakshmi in the leg, right?
Yeah.
And that was it. Yeah.
Like there's some bad shots. Like it's a wide open field. Like there's no cover.
Yeah.
And they can't hit them.
I guess they have crappy rifles and they're not well trained, but
they're stormtroopers.
Yeah. Yeah, they're stormtroopers. They can't hit anything. So she gives herself up. He gives himself up. I thought Raskova, however you say it, Raskova at the end of this, I thought she looked kind of like, I don't know, do you feel like she looked surprised at the way they sacrificed for each other? Do you think she was like impressed at I thought she really didn't expect that.
I feel like she was kind of like, oh my God, these people.
I mean, her entire job and her role in life is to make people betray each other. Right? That's like all she does is try to like leverage people against each other, and to see these two like.
Now, the only thing that worries me is while Lakshmi got out, her husband's still in Russia, isn't he?
Or did he go home? It's been 9 months. Maybe
he might have gone home.
When they
Because Wyatt's
declared
there.
her dead, they might have just let him go home, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where this picks up in season 2.
Well, one thing,
if it gets renewed. It hasn't been renewed yet.
It hasn't been renewed yet. I think it's going to be renewed.
I'm sure it will.
I think one thing that is going to happen is that, I mean, Sasha and Sasha have to have a baby, right? Because Sasha's name is Sasha Polivanov, right? And the governor on this last season, the governor of Mars, his last name was Polivanov. So I think the governor is their son or grandson.
Oh, wow. I hadn't even thought about that.
Maybe their son, right?
Nice catch, Karen.
Yeah, I think maybe they might have I think they're going to have a baby. I guess she's not pregnant already because it's been 9 months and she hasn't had a baby yet. I guess somehow they're not going to be separated. I think or Sasha's going to have a baby. Is it going to be Stasha going to be Anastasia going to be the mother? I think so, but I think he's Sasha's son or grandson.
That is a great catch. I did not think about that.
Yeah. I mean, Kelly points out that by the end of the episode, Sasha can't keep the promise to Valia about making sure Tanya was safe. We do see that at the end of the episode. I don't have a picture of Tanya, but we see that the Americans have gotten her out and she's living in Paris. That's the only happy thing in the entire season.
Well, yeah, but the KGB agent knows she's there. She's following her.
I thought that was the American agent. That's the KGB.
No,
the KGB.
remember in the beginning of the season?
Yep.
When she poses as an American agent to her, and then we see her talking to Raskova and says, "You don't have to worry about her. She's good."
Yeah. Yeah, we saw her in Paris earlier. She's a KGB agent in Paris. Yeah. Yeah, she's following her. But why can't they just leave Tanya alone? Like, Valia's dead. Tanya's out. She really was always a low level nobody. She was like a nothing traitor anyway. All she did was like.
Yeah, but it's the whole thing of he was guilty therefore she's guilty by association.
But like, nobody knows he's guilty. Like, they don't have to go after her because Valia's story is not out there. It was all taken care of, right? Like, really, what value is there in her?
I understand what you're saying, but you got to remember, this is the KGB.
Yeah.
They don't leave well enough alone.
Yeah. I don't know what value there is. Maybe,
maybe she knows something. You know what I mean? Like, who is his handler? How did you get, you know what I mean? Like, there's questions they could ask her.
Yeah. I mean, at the end, Irina seems to have been, promoted, maybe, right? I mean, she spent the whole season trying to impress Ludmilla, right? And I think she really has achieved that, right? And in the final scene, she's watching her daughter play piano. But I'm not sure if we were to take that she's happy now or sad now. I mean, obviously the kid playing piano is going to always remind her of Tanya, right? Her piano teacher.
Yeah.
But we know the person she's going to become.
Yep.
Is a hard ass KGB bitch.
Yep.
Who will run Star City and manipulate Sergei all throughout his arc in For All Mankind, right? And eventually has him killed, right?
Yep.
After he gets free in America. I mean, she's really, I don't know.
It might end up being the most interesting thing, to see how she transforms from this meek, single mother into this powerful, ruthless KGB agent.
I mean, she's already lost so much of her humanity, but yet the last time we saw her last season, she was so committed to successful space exploration, and she helps to like save the colony, and she, I mean, the person she's going to become is, I actually wonder what there is to explore with Irina really in a second season of Star City. Like, what more? Like, I've seen a bunch of her origin story. There's that little bit of mystery. Like, is she from some kind of privileged background? Is the premier her father? All that. Who's the father of her baby? Like, all her daughter. All that's kind of like. But I don't know how interesting that is to me, given that I know where she's going and who she becomes. Right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It might be interesting to see how she gets there, because she still tries to do the right thing, and she still has some of her humanity at this time.
Yeah, she still
so
thinks.
I want to see what breaks the camel's back.
Well, she still thinks, like, she told Ludmilla about the bug, and she's aligned herself with her, right? And I feel like eventually that has to go bad. Like, eventually Irina will probably throw Ludmilla under the bus to get her job.
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe.
Guess we'll find out. All right, House of Dragon.
Okay, hang on. Let me get my next load of photos here. Where are you, Hot D? Hot D. House of Dragon. This was only episode 3. I feel like so much has happened in 3 episodes on this show. Which of the 3 or 4 story arcs do you want to hit first?
Wherever you want to start, I don't care.
Okay, I want to start with kind of the beginning of the episode. Let's dispense with Harrenhal, where we have the biggest losers in Westeros, Sir Gawain, Allison's brother, Sir Gawain, and his friend. Where's his picture? Come on, where are you, Sir Kristen Cole? I put your picture in here. I'm sure I did, because you're a gigantic loser also. And Fabian Frankel as Sir Kristen Cole. These two, oh my God, AJ. There actually was a great line of dialogue, which I didn't really take it all down, but like Sir Gawain is like, so this is great. Like, we have no army, we have no dragon. They didn't know at first that Rhaenyra had taken over, right? Like, these guys, and Gawain is like, why don't we just go home, right? Like, or why don't we just go?
No, he doesn't want to go home. He wants to go meet up with Ormond.
He wants to eat with Ormond in Tumbleton, right? Because he's like, this sucks. We're here. We can't find Aemond. We have nothing. Like, everything is going bad. We have no dragons. Everything sucks. And then, of course, Kristen Cole is like, no, I have a better idea, because he has so ruined his own life by getting involved with Allison, and he hates himself so much, I think, is kind of what drives him here, right?
Well, I mean, Cole is just a piece of shit from day one. He sleeps with Rhaenyra, and then he turns on her, and then aligns himself with the Hightowers, and he backed the wrong horse. Yeah.
And then he's been involved with both of them now, right? He sleeps with Rhaenyra. He fathers those children. He's the father of those children, right?
No, that was a different guy.
Oh, that's the other guy she slept with. Yeah, that was the other guy she slept with. So, like, yeah, these guys are just, I don't know what he does anyway, is like, I don't know. He's the biggest loser on the show. He's just he is just, this guy.
He might be the weakest hand in the history of Westeros.
I think he is, right? Like, he's really, he's the worst. He's the worst. And they're like,
but his plan is like, no, we're gonna get the throne back.
Right?
They won't see us coming.
Yeah. He wants to go keep the river scum from reaching King's Landing. He still has this idea that he's got some noble mission there, and that he can somehow redeem himself by like being of great service. When this guy needs to just like retire and just go like hide out in a cave somewhere, because he's the worst. I hate this guy. remember how much I hated him in season 1, and it all came back to me.
Yeah.
This guy. And poor Sir Gawain is like stuck being his like partner in crime. This guy clearly just wants to like give it up, right? He's like, let's just go over, join the other guy. Let's go back with the High Towers, and let me just not have to be out here. So, and the other person they find there is Alice, who has very little to do in this episode, but look awesome in this picture. And she gets to give them the news, right, that Rhaenyra is taking King's Landing. It's kind of awesome. She's like, "Oh, you haven't heard? They got King's Landing." It was pretty fantastic. She hasn't really done that much. I kind of love her, and I'm waiting for her to like really like go bad witch on them at some point. So there was that. Okay, next storyline. Let's take the buddy comedy.
Oh, the insufferable twit.
The odd couple out on the road together. So these two have gone and gotten themselves jobs. Sort of.
Aegon. Oh my god, he is so fucking dumb.
Well, Aegon.
He tries to get them killed every day. He's so fucking arrogant.
He is, but like this is what happens when you're raised at this coddled little prince that everyone tells you like you're the king, you're gonna be the king, you're a big spoiled little baby who has never been out in the world before, and he just can't like. Larys is like, will you shut up? Like, can you just shut up for 1 minute, right? Larys is like, you're gonna get us killed. Shut up. And he just can't shut up ever. And he says things like, how dare you speak to me like that? I will have you killed. And Larys is like, we're supposed to be like homeless losers. I should say homeless people are not losers. I should not have said that. But in this case, they're supposed to have been like, he's saying that they escaped Harrenhal or they escaped some other village or whatever. And like Larys has got a good story. And then like Aegon has to go acting like a king all the time. He's a total like every time I feel a little sorry for him and I think like, ooh, this is going to be good when he like, then he acts like an ass. And I'm like, please, can you?
Yeah, I've never felt bad for Aegon.
Yeah.
He has gotten everything he fucking deserves. Maybe he didn't deserve to be burned by his brother, but
yeah. So they go on a side trip because he wants to go see dead Sunfire's body. Sunfire is very small. I know Sunfire is the smallest dragon, but Sunfire is like only the size of like a Clydesdale in this picture, right? Is Sunfire really that small?
What?
Is Sunfire really that small?
I think it's the way it was shot, partly. I mean, Sunfire is not the smallest dragon, but not anywhere near the biggest one either.
I mean, Sunfire's like just a big. Like Sunfire looks really small in this picture, right?
So.
I think you're right. I think you're right. It's this picture. There were some. This is the one HBO gave us, but I think in some other shots he looked bigger, right?
Yeah. So here's my question for you. Do you think Aegon is just wishful thinking, or do you think Aegon feels something when he says that Sunfire is not dead?
Oh, I think 100% Sunfire is not dead. I don't see them writing a storyline where he says he's not dead, but he's actually dead. Like what? I think like if he was able to sit there by himself and talk High Valyrian, I kind of thought the eye might open actually in this scene.
Well, something that I noticed, and I don't know if it was continuity error, but as in your shot here, it's Sunfire's mouth is open, and there's another shot in this whole same scene where the mouth is closed.
Really?
Yeah. That
must be an error. Because people would have noticed the dragon closing its mouth, right? I think he's going to be alive. I don't really know that much about dragons, and if they can like, I mean, I feel like this is like a Queen of the Damned scenario where the statue of Akasha comes back to life, right? We We have a little spoiler in the chat there, which is. But
hey, Neo, we don't talk book here unless something has already happened.
I mean, Kelly thinks that Sunfire is supposed to be around the same size as Cyrax, who is Damon's Matt Smith's dragon. Damon, right? Damon's dragon. I think this is a bad picture. I think it looked bigger in some other shots, but and yes, Kelly also kept waiting for the eye to open too, and Kelly agrees that he's not dead. Neo, I agree with you. I think AJ said it last week.
I did not.
I think you said previously.
I said. Okay.
I think you
what I said last week was, and this is because I didn't realize that Sunfire was supposed to be dead. I thought Sunfire was still in the woods being tended to.
Oh,
and then, I thought that's where we left off.
Okay.
I never said. I never said what Neo just said.
Well, this is another scene where Aegon almost gets them killed because he starts speaking High Valyrian to the dragon. And now, to be fair, this.
Did you freeze or lose your train of thought?
And Laris is like, oh, he's simple. Don't listen to him. He's simple. Rhaenyra's dragon is not Cyrax. What's Rhaenyra's dragon? Correct?
Rhaenyra's dragon is Cyrax. Damon's dragon is Syrax's.
Correct. Oh, thank you, Kelly, for correcting me there. So he almost gives them away. Laris is like, what is wrong with you? It's dead. Come on. It's dead. Come on. I mean, I guess Laris probably doesn't understand that dragons can be. I mean, dragon eggs can be for like a piece of stone for like 500 years, and you put them in fire and they like come to life and become a dragon, right? So I feel like this dragon can look like he's dead and turn to stone. And, you know, I look, it's a giant reptile with a really low metabolism. And I don't know what would bring a dragon back to life. It's not, you know, like a vampire has to drink blood. Like, what is a dragon? Maybe it just has to slumber, but I feel like this dragon is coming back. I think we all agree on that. So then they go get their jobs, and HBO didn't give us a picture of it, so I'm going here, but Aegon almost gets them killed, and
again,
the mean boss makes Aegon kiss his feet, which are covered with mud and probably poop.
Shit. I'm pretty sure they're covered in shit.
Yeah.
Now,
because
I gotta say,
their job, these two buckets, I'm pointing at these buckets like you can see me pointing. Their job is carrying buckets of piss to the tanner because it's like acidic for the tanner to use to tan hides.
Now, I really thought the scene when he told him to kiss his boots, I really thought Aegon was going to pretend to start doing it and try and overpower him. I was really surprised to see Aegon actually kiss his boot.
Yeah, I mean, Aegon, when you threaten Aegon with a knife, I guess he's a little, you know, he's going to...
Yeah, his tune changes.
I was interested in the part also. So earlier in the episode, we see them walking. They're walking to find Sunfire or whatever. And I was like, oh, look at Aegon. He's doing a little better. He's off the milk of the poppy. He's moving a little better. But in that scene where he had to kiss the boots, you can see the pain he has in trying to bend down. He's still very... physically decrepit. So this is interesting to me only for maybe one more week. Like, I don't know how much we're going to see of this. There's a part of me that thought, okay, could this story be going in a direction where Aegon having to live as a normal person, could it make him a better king in the end? To learn what it's like for the small folk, right? And could he become a more sympathetic ruler of his people? I mean, I'm saying that's where the story is going. We know that, you know, there will be a couple more generations of Targaryens before, you know, Robert Baratheon takes the throne. But, like, could we see that? Could he become more sympathetic to the people he rules in a way that most rulers of Westeros are not. Right?
Right.
I mean, you've read it. You're not going to say, but, you know, I wondered about that. Particularly, like, we see repeatedly that Daemon has zero sympathy for the poor people, for the regular people, right? Like, Daemon is not that different from Ormond Hightower. They both hate the small people. They both are, like, so full of themselves and no sympathy at all for the small people. I don't know if Aegon could be going there. I don't know. I could be wrong. I know you're not going to say anything. All right, so I just went to Daemon. Can we dispense with the other small story before we get to the main event?
Sure.
Because we also saw, where are my pictures here? Hot D, where are you? Phoebe Campbell is the actress who plays Bella, who got herself a little short haircut this week.
Yeah,
I
she got her hair chopped.
Yeah, or maybe burned off by the dragon. I don't know.
That's what it kind of looks like.
I know it does look like it got burned off. I know this story is not from the books. It's sort of put together for the show. So I want to, how did you like it? How do you like where this is going?
Kind of the way I expected it to go. You know, Daemon reacted pretty much exactly how I expected him to.
Really? Because he acted a little bit like a
What were you saying? You cut out for a second. And you're still cut out. So I'll talk. Yeah, I was surprised, or not surprised. I wasn't surprised the way it went. I expected Daemon to actually give a shit about his daughter, even though that's not expected of Daemon. You know, I was hoping that they were going to go back to King's Landing together and plead her case, but I'm not surprised that a young girl like her was like, nope, I don't trust it. And, you know, and I mean, she calls Daemon out on some of his shit, which is pretty true. You know, she's like, I was the Targaryen without a dragon. She's like, you didn't give me a second thought, you know? So
yeah,
I'm not really surprised that she flew off in a temper tantrum. What do you think about Daemon taking the poor shepherd and as the scapegoat?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's terrible, right? That means he chopped an innocent guy's head off to like protect his daughter, which is like,
which is kind of nice, but
I mean, I guess
poor shepherd. Innocent shepherd.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. The real reason he went there to see Lady Jane, right? Lady Jane Eyre is the Lady of the Vale, which I love that the Vale is always run by a lady, right? It's in the north. The Vale's in the north, right? That's why a woman can rule.
The far north. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like northwest.
Yeah. He really went there to ask for a bunch of money, and she gave a bunch of money.
Yep.
She's like, do you promise to get out of here? He's like, I'll get out of here and leave you alone if you give me a bunch of money. And she's like, okay, fine. She never lets on that she knows Bella is there, and Bella never lets on that she has basically pledged herself and Sheepstealer to protect the Vale, right? I mean, that's still a thing, right?
I would think so.
I don't know how, how does Daemon think that no one's ever going to find out? Like, Sheepstealer is a giant dragon that eats a lot of sheep, and Bella is going to ride him around. Like the two of them are not going to hide in a cave forever, right? Like, does he think that she has no intention of riding her dragon around? And I don't know what he thinks is going to happen.
Nobody's found out to this point. So
it hasn't been that long. It's been like a couple months, right? And she's been taming the dragon all this time. Like the dragon
still been a couple months that nobody knew.
But in last week's episode, the dragon wasn't fully tame yet. In this episode, that dragon is tamed now, right?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the Vale's like Lady Jane said, the Vale's a big place.
Yeah, and it's kind of out of the way. Like nobody goes to the Vale on purpose.
Which makes me wonder where this story is even gonna go. Because Daemon, clearly is protecting his daughter, and it's kind of a closed story, but I feel like she's got to show up at some point for some reason.
Well, I'll tell you where I think it's going. I think Rhaenyra is eventually going to need another dragon, and Damon's going to be like, okay, I actually know where we can get one, but let me tell you, and Rhaenyra's going to have to put aside her feelings about Bella, and Bella didn't mean it, right? I think eventually
Rhaenyra
is dead. Yeah, no, Rhaenyra.
This is Rhaenyra. Bella is her sister.
This is Bella.
No, this is Rhaenyra.
Oh, Bella is the other sister. Yeah, this is Rhaenyra.
Yeah. Bella is the one that was betrothed to Jace.
Yeah, I think Rhaenyra is eventually going to need another dragon, a big ass dragon, a dragon rider. Because look, the dragons are going to die by attrition. It's the dance of the dragons. We know by the end of it, the dragons are all dead, right? Like, I assume Rhaenyra's going to eventually need a dragon, and so Damon's going to be like, okay, I know where we can get a dragon, but there's a little hitch in this whole thing, and Rhaenyra's going to have to accept her. That's where I think it's going, because the dragons.
I have no idea, because this is a whole new storyline.
Yeah, I think she's going to eventually have to be accepted, and if Rhaenyra can accept the dragon seeds, who are all, some of them are bozos, some of them are good, some
only one of them's a bozo.
Two of them are. I mean,
no,
Ulf turns out to be a bozo in this episode.
Ulf is a bozo, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, Adam is good, right?
Adam's good, and so is Hammer.
But Ulf is
Ulf is an idiot.
All right, so let's go to the main storyline, which is Rhaenyra's. Last week she had 99 problems. This week she has 97 problems, right? She's got a bunch of issues. Which of her issues would you like to discuss first?
You know what? I'm just going to jump to this one because it's on my mind, because I had a problem with this one. I said I'm going to jump to this one because I had a problem with this one.
Okay. Wait, what? You just said she and then you dropped out. Hello? I can't hear you. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? One of us is frozen. I don't know who has a problem. Are we both frozen? AJ. Oh, crap. I don't know what's going on with our show right now, you guys. I'm going to have to send a quick text to AJ and see if he can hear me or if I can hear him. Wait, there's a comment. I can't hear AJ. I don't even remember what AJ just was about to say that he had a problem with when he was like, so let's just talk about Rhaenyra and her problems until AJ has left the chat. I think he's left the program. I think he's going to come and re-enter and see if he can get back online. Rhaenyra starts out by trying to reconstitute her small council. Actually, it's not even her idea. I don't even know why she had to wait for Masari to tell her you need to reconstitute your small council. Doesn't that seem like an obvious thing for the queen to do? But here he is. Let's add him to the stage. AJ, are you back?
I am back. Sorry about that.
All right, good, because I was
my laptop was dying, so I plugged it in and it shut down.
I hate that.
I was like, but why would it? But I plugged it in, and it plugging it in was whatever.
So what was on your mind?
So people are, the bastard queen, and they tell her about it, and she says, have the gold cloaks go around and clean it all up, get rid of the writings, and find out who's doing it. I don't remember her saying break into people's homes and rip them out and throw them downstairs and beat young children and get them to find out who did it. That was I feel like there was some lost in translation there, or did I miss something?
Well, who's in charge of the gold cloaks?
Damon's guy.
Damon is. And Damon is the kind of person who, like, he has expressed in the last 2 episodes, they've made a point of him expressing a lot of disdain for the small folk and being, he thinks the small folk are just there for, like, I don't know why he thinks they're there. He might think the whole ruling the place would be better if you didn't have to rule people. I'm not surprised that Damon would send them with a harsher. I don't know.
Yeah, but it wasn't Damon that she told to send the message. It was her private night that she has with her that she tells, and she does. Damon shouldn't even be involved in this conversation. She says to go to the head of the Golden Cloaks, whatever his name is. I forget.
I forgot the guy's name, but all right,
yeah.
they were
created. It just surprised me because I was just like, this is not how she's going to win people over. Like,
you're right. Maybe Rhaenyra needs to learn that you need to tell those guys, like, go figure it out, but don't crack heads, don't murder people, don't right? Like she's also a little like this is a little Rhaenyra-ish. Like in last week's episode, she was all like, I need my coronation. What do you mean there's no money? What? Blah, blah, blah. And this week she's a little bit like, what? People are writing bad slogans about me. Let's shut that down. Like any seditious behavior. Like this is like Donald Trump when somebody writes a mean tweet, he tries to get the Justice Department to arrest them, right?
But you know what's funny? Her bastards are dead. Her other children are Damon's.
Actually, you're right. Yeah. So we do thank you, letting us
Luther Largent. Yes.
David had nothing to do with this. She needs to be more specific with the commands that she gives, right? Like go out there and don't like hurt people. Those guys are a problem. When you were off the screen, I was talking about another problem she has, which is she has the small council meeting. There's like one person there. I don't know why it requires Misseri to be like, what would help if you appointed some counselors? Like, why don't you put some people on the small council? And she says, like, what we really need is a master of coin, because then there's someone you can blame for us not having any money, which she's very good. I mean, they call her the white worm, right? She's really smart and good.
Yes, she is.
She's the smartest person out of all of them. I think she's smarter than Damon. She's smarter than Rhaenyra. She's the smartest person in the room. And she's like, Rhaenyra, why don't you go and get a small council? So then she has this gallery of like people who are like, so the Maester, she's like, the Maester says something smart this week also, right? I forget what he says. What does the Maester say? That she's like, you know what? You can hang around and be the head Maester as long as you're useful. Oh, he's the guy who he tells her some stuff about the high towers, I think, right? He gives her maybe somebody in the chat remembers, he has an important piece of information that she's like, okay, you can stick around. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Joffrey Valerian is the guy's name, the guy who's the head of the Gold Cloaks, right? Or the head of her command that she sends out to go to her guy.
No, oh shit, I forgot Joffrey was still alive. No, she's saying Joffrey is the next heir, and Joffrey was Strong's kid also.
Oh yes, she has one more kid.
I completely forgot about Joffrey. I thought Aegon and Viserys was the only ones left.
Yeah, there's one more bastard left, Joffrey Valerian. So I forget what the Maester says, but she's like, you know what? You could be the head Maester. You could be the Grand Maester for a while and stick around here as long as you're useful. I forget what information he conveys, but it's pretty good. She keeps Misseri around. Now she's going to go ask like Corlys. She wants Corlys as the hand, right? And she's like, where's my hand? And Corlys is pretty much done with her.
Well, she doesn't want Corlys to be the hand. Corlys is her hand.
Yeah, and she wants him to show up. She's like, where's my hand? Get him in here, right? And he's done. He's like, I mean, he doesn't say I won't be the hand, but he's kind of done with it. He's mad at her. And he's also like, wants to go off and have a fight or whatever. So he decides that he's going to send Alan in his stead, which I don't know if you can do that. Can you just be like, I'm the hand and I appoint this other guy to be the hand? Isn't,
Not usually, but the times are a little rough. So.
Well, who else does she have, really? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really want Damon to be your hand. And who else is around? So he's like, I appoint like my son to be my hand. Actually, Alan, I think, might be a pretty good hand. He's pretty smart and steady.
Well, I like the fact that she sends Alan, and so does Kelly, because I think if working with him and getting to know him might make her be like, you know what, I'm gonna make you and your brother noble.
Oh, that she might finally relent and legitimize that. And Lenis has a good point. Tywin did it with Tyrion. He did. Thank you. Tywin was the hand, and he had Tyrion like represent him.
I thought Tyrion was the hand, and then Tywin, and it was taken away from him and given to Tywin. I thought they like made Tyrion the hand because Tywin wasn't there.
Well, that's kind of the same thing, right?
Yes, maybe, sort of, kind of, whatever.
Yeah. And Tyrion was a better hand. And then she's got Lord Manderley is the master of coin.
I knew he was going to come back into play.
Well, yeah, because it's Dan Fogler, right? We knew that you were going to have this actor like never be seen again. Mysaria wants him to be she suggests him almost as a patsy, right? But yeah. I think he might turn out to be pretty smart and good also. Or evil.
I think he's smart enough to see that Rhaenyra is the one to be with.
Yeah. So this is her council, right? So she's got those guys seem to not be that great. Then she's got a problem with her dragon seeds. We've got the whole Ulf thing. I don't know if that's in the book or not.
Ulf being an idiot, yes.
Well, Ulf goes to the pub and he tells all his bozo friends, like, I'm a dragon seed now. Like, I can, and he basically promises them all these favors from the queen.
Yeah.
And instead, she's like, you know what? You are confined to quarters. No more hanging out in the pub and running your mouth. He says to her, I think people would like you better if you showed a little mercy because people are suffering and you should give these guys pardons. And she doesn't, right? I think she doesn't. She's like, whatever, get out of here. You're confined. You no more.
She skips that whole thing. And she's like, you've got a job to do. Go do it.
Yeah, go. He's supposed to go fly to Tumbleton. And he wants to go to Tumbleton. His wife is in Tumbleton, right?
No.
So
No.
That's Hammer. The other guy. That's the other guy. That's the Hammer. The Hammer's wife is in Tumbleton, right?
Yeah. She's the one that gets attacked.
Yes. So there's this whole so fast forward to Tumbleton. And I have a picture of where is everybody's favorite new big bad of the season. I mean, maybe I shouldn't call him that, but everybody.
I don't know if I'd call him the big bad, but he's definitely a thorn.
The latest adversary is where's your picture? I'm sorry, I'm scrolling through my pictures here. This is the picture from last week. There's all the trouble in Tumbleton. So what we've learned about, he's a total jerk, and I'm getting a big. Do you hear my big echo? No. He hates the small folk pretty much as Damon does, and he thinks he's better than everyone. And he's going around acting like he's a good and benevolent leader, but he's actually kind of a horrible.
Well, he's of the mind that he's a high tower, and high towers are of great nobility. And the only reason Targaryens are in power is because they have dragons.
Which, I mean, that is the only reason that Targaryens.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
But he's like taken over, and he like goes and takes over like the Lord and Lady of Tumbleton, whoever they are, right? Like he takes their house, and there's that whole scene where he gets out of the bathtub naked, and he's presumably like showing his
manhood
around, trying to intimidate the house owners, and he's very he's a total jerk. But then he's like, I want my men to be on best behavior, so So this shot is from the scene where Ormond like is like, oh yeah, sorry soldier, you shouldn't have tried to rape that woman. I'm gonna like you're being punished. Take these people and take care of them. And then he's pulled a fast one by the end of it, right? He's gonna have this guy killed after all.
Yeah.
Because he struck the soldier, right?
Well, that's the excuse he gives. It's more about Darren.
So we finally see the real Darren, who's a brunette. He's like he's a Hightower, right? He looks Hightower.
Yeah, he looks like a Hightower, not a Valerian.
He seems like a nice kid, but he's being raised by this guy to be a jerk, right? I don't think Darren is really. Darren seems pretty horrified. Like, you know that scene where there's some bad news coming, and Darren says to the little page boy, he's like, "Get out, get out, get out."
Yeah.
He knows what's coming. So this bit where he decides to have the husband killed because he struck a soldier is really like a lesson for Darren. You're saying, and I agree, right?
Yeah.
Neo, Lord Butt Cheeks. And Kelly's right. Yes, this kid has seen some things and he knows what's coming, like the rage that's coming, the violence from this man. I was kind of surprised. Oh, and so what he really is going to do is he wants to make Darren kill the kid, right? This guy. He's like, look, Darren, this guy, like, he struck a soldier. He's not as good as we are. We're better people. We have to do this. And he instructs Darren to kill the guy. I was kind of surprised Darren did. I wondered for a minute if Darren would refuse. And if Darren had the balls to be like, I'm Prince.
He's afraid of Ormond.
Do you think Ormond would do something to him? He is an heir to the throne, right? And he is.
I don't think that he would do, but he's so like I don't think he would do anything to him, but I think that's only because I don't think he foresees Darren talking back to him. I mean, remember, he's literally raised Darren since he was little.
Since he was like 5 years old, yeah.
No. And I mean, this whole plan of Ormond is self-serving because, if he's successful in his plot and gets Daemon on the throne, who do you think is going to be the hand?
Well, just like Otto Hightower, right? This was exactly Otto Hightower's plan. That he would get his daughter in there, and and later his grandsons, he was going to be the hand. He was going to control them. This is exactly the same plan, I think.
Pretty much, not for nothing. Every evil hand ever, this is their plan. Even Tywin, because a lot of times the hand has the true power.
The hand always wants to get a little kid on the throne and then be the regent, basically, right?
Yeah.
And run the place. So this guy reveals himself to be pretty horrible. There's only one other kind of thing that really happens, which is Alicent. I did like those scenes where Alicent talks to Rhaenyra and talks about how she's sending Darren away was maybe the only time she really was like a great mother.
Yeah.
The best thing she ever did.
Her best mothering moment, as she puts it.
Yeah. Because her other sons are so horrible. Little does she know. But like the big thing that happens here is that she notices that someone has a baby bump.
Yeah. Now, my question is, who did Daddy?
You think it's not Aegon, her husband?
I'm not sure, because I don't know how much I don't know how much time has passed.
I don't either. Like, Aegon, how long?
I feel like. I mean, I think that I would assume that's the direction they're going. I think that's why Alicent is so terrified, because now it puts Helena in trouble because that's another heir to oppose Rhaenyra. But I feel like it's been a minute, and it's not like Aegon was having sex when he was all crispy.
Right.
It's definitely been a while since he was bedridden. Like, it's been many, many months. So she's banging somebody on the side.
Like, she hasn't had sex with Aegon since before he was burned. and it probably has been months. And this is a woman who is, I mean, I've never had a baby. I don't know what month you start showing and when you wear a dress like that, but she's only
this is relatively new.
A little bit pregnant, right? A little bit pregnant. You can't be a little bit pregnant. You are or you're not, but she's not like very far along in her pregnancy. Yes, and also Lettuce points out Aegon's scars are so healed. He is looking a lot better. I mean, he's never going to go back, right? But he is looking a lot like, even from like this, like if we look at like, this was like in episode 1, and let me see his picture from, let's see if I got his picture from this week. Where he looks, I don't know if we can really see him here. We can't really see him, but he kind of looks better, I think, right? Here he is. I think he's getting a little better. I think you're right. He's kind of healed. So who's the father? Like, who's the daddy? And it's funny because Helena is not a person that we've seen. Like, she's very innocent and ethereal and very like, not that I don't think that she would ever have sex with somebody, right? But it was a big surprise to me that she has turned up pregnant. And who could that be? Like, who could she possibly be having sex with? I mean, it could be just some rando castle dude, right? But if it's a bastard, then it's not an heir to the throne. Although but it is because she's all like, they married her to her brother, right?
Yes.
So it is going to be like, no matter who the daddy is, it's Viserys' grandchild, right? And could make a case for it to be in line to the throne, maybe. That to me was maybe one of the big surprises of the episode. Maybe not to you. Maybe that's in the book. So Rockers LA said probably Aegon. I can't see Helena hoeing out. Rockers meant Kelly's saying, correcting Aemond. Like, she's probably not having sex with Aegon. Rockers, maybe you meant, oh no, Aegon. Aegon's her husband. Aegon's her husband. You think Kelly thinks she had sex with Aemond? That's interesting, Kelly.
Ooh.
Like, Rockers is like probably Aegon.
He doesn't like Aemond.
No, but that doesn't mean Aemond might not like.
I know.
Force himself on her, right?
I think. So I guess.
I mean, you both.
All right. Let's. I guess it's okay for me to say this is not in the book, so your guess is as good as mine.
Okay. I mean, I think you both have a good case. Aemond, Kelly has a point. Aemond even kissed his mom in a very creepy.
He's got a crush on his. He's got a crush on his mommy. He doesn't care about his sister.
I think a guy who's a crush on his mommy wouldn't think twice about forcing himself on his sister. He's a total psycho. I think they both are equally likely at this point. We have no idea. Aemond's been around more recently than Aegon has, is a good argument for Aemond, right? Like, she probably hasn't had sex with Aegon for a long time. She had, like, there's an opportunity, at least with Aemond more recently.
Lita says, but he has a thing for older women, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
His younger sister doesn't do it for him.
I don't know. I mean, I think right now all things are possible, right? Who has any idea?
Except for Aegon. Aegon is not possible.
Aegon's not possible, yeah.
It's definitely not Aegon.
And Kelly can see him wanting to make more Hightower heirs. Yeah. I mean, who knows?
I'd be interested to see. I mean, I clearly think that where they're going with the storyline is now she's a threat to Rhaenyra because she can say, "Listen, it's a bastard. It's not Aegon's," and Rhaenyra has to dispose of her just in case.
Now, I don't know. And yet Rhaenyra talks to Alicent in this episode, and when they're talking about, where's my picture of our little new Daemon? But when they're talking about Daemon, like,
she says she never come home.
she said, I would have spared him. She says, Allison, I would have spared him, right? Like, I do think Rhaenyra is sensitive to the fact that they have, between them, lost so many children, and she doesn't really want to kill children.
No. And while I don't think she would want to kill, I feel like sparing Daemon, who's a potential in line for the throne, is different than an heir to the throne.
Well, why is Daemon not potential? Why he's an heir to the throne? He's the child of Viserys and Alicent. He has a claim equal to Aegon and Aemond. Except
but Aegon. But I say it like that because Aegon was king, so therefore his children actually trump his brothers.
So if Helena's baby is Aegon's son, it would be in line. Aegon's son or even daughter would be in line ahead of Daemon.
Darren.
And you have to assume it's Aegon's because you can't say out loud, who's your baby daddy, Queen. Helena, who's your baby daddy? Obviously, it's King Aegon, right? Like, what are you going to say? Yeah. So really, Helena's child would be the presumptive heir to the throne right now, ahead of everybody else. Ahead even of Aegon.
Are all her children dead, or they just killed one?
They just killed one. She has that little baby that she's playing with.
Still have, she should. Oh, that's right.
It's a sister. The twin is a sister.
Oh, it's
right. Weren't the twins a boy and a girl?
Did the show cut Mailer out? Didn't she should have had 3 children?
I think Mailer was cut out. Maybe this is Mailer coming that she's pregnant with. I think Mailer was cut out. She had twins, and they killed the little boy.
Yeah, they killed the boy.
The little girl,
they
right?
killed Aries.
So I think if this was a boy baby, it would be ahead of its older sister, right? In line. Who knows?
Well, that's a whole other can of worms. But anyway.
Well, and they have allowed in this show. I mean, the central conflict is that Viserys declared his daughter an heir, and many people, including our new Hightower dickhead, think a woman shouldn't lead, right?
Well, think about how this whole show started. It was between Viserys and Rhaena.
Well, it was between Daemon and Rhaenyra, really. Like Daemon
No. Think about how the show started. It was between Viserys and Corlys's wife, who was
Rhaena.
Rhaena? Right.
Rhaena?
There's too many. These fucking names are similar.
Corlys's wife had a claim to the throne at first.
She actually had a better claim than Viserys, but it was always assumed that they gave it to Viserys because he was a man.
Yeah.
That's how this whole mess started.
Yeah. All right. Well, pretty good episode, right? I mean, a lot of moving things around the table, but pretty good.
It's still, the big thing for me, knowing what's coming, is trying to decide which things are actually going to happen this season and anxiously waiting for them to happen.
Or will they put off for next season?
Yeah, it's like, where are they going to fall?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you figure, what is there? 8 episodes, right? So
I think there's 8, yeah, and this was only 3.
Wow, we still have 4 episodes left this season.
This is episode 3. We have 5 episodes left. This was episode 3, right?
No, this was 4.
Nuh-uh. It was 3, wasn't it?
It was 4.
All right, if you say so.
It says it right there at the top of the screen.
It's episode 4. You are right. It's episode 4. Thank you.
It says it right there. Jamie wrote 304.
It does. I see it. Thank you. We have 4 more episodes.
See, so that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot can happen in 4 episodes, and then you presume another 8 episodes in 2 years.
Yes, and you have to remember that this show has the exact same theme so I cut it off. This piece of artwork, I had to cut it off to fit it, but over top of the Iron Throne here, it says "Win or Die" on the HBO artwork. And, so they're exactly the same. I mean, those are the words of Cersei Lannister in season 1 of Game of Thrones, right? When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. And so, like, who is going to make it through? Like, I love Rhaenyra. She's our heroine right now. She's our protagonist. I do love her. I would like to see her rule. I don't think that she is going to win. I mean, actually, I kind of know, because I kind of know from having read Game of Thrones, you kind of know the Targaryen line. But she needs to learn a lot really fast if she's going to hold on to this Iron Throne, which I think now that she's got it, she maybe doesn't even want it, right?
Well, I don't. Not so much doesn't want it. It's more than she realized. More than what she realized it was.
Yeah.
And especially the way the state of affairs are that were left to her.
Right. She thought she might be swanning around a palace all day with people like loving her and having all these people to do her shit for her. And now she realizes that she has to actually run the whole place. Like, sorry, you didn't know you were going to be the CEO, but you are. You thought you were going to, be the front. Yeah. So anyway, it was pretty good. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah, me too. So
yeah. So all right,
folks.
I don't know if
pleasure with everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
I just texted Jamie, told her we're wrapping up. So
okay. So she's right here. I don't know what else is going on her channel this week with other shows and watch parties.
She said something about maybe something with Rum this week. I know she said that last night.
Yeah.
Friday she's planning on doing a watch party. Well, Thursday into Friday because.
Sorry, hold on, I'm here.
Oh, there she is.
I'm getting there. I'm sitting back down. I was in the other room. We're looking at puppies. So. All right.
You keep your parents up this late?
Well, because we're looking at puppies. Trying to find what puppy we want.
Oh, it could take a while probably to find the right one.
Yeah, it's hard to find them. What did I miss? Sorry, you guys were talking about your other shows.
We were saying like what else is up with
what else is up this week?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to do anything Thursday or not. I know we'd kind of talked about it, but we hadn't really set anything in stone. But we will have a watch party Thursday night for Silo. If people want to see it Thursday night, I assume they will. And I never put Discord here, and I should have. If you're not a member of our Discord, make sure you join for a watch party and links. We had some new people in the chat. That's cool.
Everybody remember to like and subscribe.
Yes, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision. I know people were asking about games we could do tonight, but I don't know if last minute there's enough people around. But if you guys want to play a game around, it could do that for a while. But yeah, let me know in Discord and we'll see. Otherwise, I will see everybody. Oh, that was your message. I was like, what's that? That's from you guys. But otherwise, I guess we'll see you guys on Monday for Silo, possibly Thursday for Rum or something, but just check Discord for.
Always check Discord.
Yes, that's the best way to find out updates. All right, guys. Well, everybody have a good night. And thank you for coming.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Everybody, good night.
Good night.